The thing is, whenever you put anything on a tier list, it always ends up being terrible. So no one has any expectations here. We're gonna throw this on Zane's Twitter, and everyone's gonna be angry, and that's the fun part.
Correct.
Oh man, I hear some sick echo.
What, did you start my stream already and you're already hearing us? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I
Okay.
muted the stream.
Okay, I was gonna say if there was an echo going on from my end, you would have heard it beforehand. But if you turn on the stream,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, why suddenly echo? It all makes sense. Sometimes you're just a little bit stupid, you know. And by you, I mean me.
Man, it's crazy that Zane's echo is just as loud as his regular voice. That's so weird. Actually, it's louder. That doesn't seem scientifically possible. All right, let me share my screen so that way we're all just looking at the same list, and then we'll give it a minute and let people show up, and it should be interesting.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. So, what are we calling the tiers? S, A, B, C, D surely is not appropriate.
No, this is quite literally just what it was at the beginning, so I decided to wait on that.
Yeah, there's the tier list.
Basically, it's going to come down to, do you guys want to do numbers, so like 7-3, 6-4, or 5-5, 4-5, etc., or just say losing, slightly losing, even?
4-5 is my favorite matchup spread. Personally,
5 is my favorite matchup spread.
Hey, do you have any idea how many times I freaking heard people will say it's a 45-55 matchup? I'm like, who the fuck says that?
Oh no, that's totally a thing. If it's not 5-5 and it's not 6-4, you know, what else could it be? Anyway, personally, I think numbers are doomed. If you guys want to do numbers,
I think I want to do numbers. I want to do 4.5, 4.5, 5.5.
So over. Well, the thing is, it's so much harder to put people into numbered tiers. It's gonna make this even harder. If we say, like, you know, kind of bad, maybe we can agree. But if we say 4.5, 5.5 versus 6.4, there's no way we're ever going to agree.
The thing for me, Grimnir is not that bad to have, like, say stuff like slightly losing. Like, what's slightly losing in the context of we play a top 1, top 3 character, whatever?
I'm about to say, if you said top 1, me and Aqua are going to get after you before we even start this goddamn list.
Yeah, everyone knows Grimnir is an honest mid-tier.
Oh,
okay, now me and Yobu are going to get on you for that. I can already tell this is going to be very interesting video. Are we doing numbers or just slightly or losing?
You're the tiebreaker, Zane. Do you want to do numbers?
Democracy vote. We have 3 people here. All right. On go, we either say numbers or slightly or losing, winning. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Losing.
Numbers.
Losing, winning. See, I don't know what you expected from that, Yobu. I'm gonna be real. I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, it's 2-1 on winning, losing, because like Aqua said. Are we really going to do 55-45, 60-40, and then 70-30?
We definitely don't have any 70-30 matchups. So it would really be like 6-4, 55-45, 50-50, and then we'd probably go down to like 20-80.
We totally have a 20-80 matchup.
Oh, you know it.
Oh god. All right, so losing, slightly losing. What the fuck?
What is this website doing?
I don't know.
Can you tab it?
I'm trying to. Nope, tabbing sends you downwards.
Oh.
Did you press enter for a second line? Is that like a...
No, that's what I first did. That's what led to this.
Oh, well, that's good enough. That looks right. Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh god.
I hate this.
People are gonna
slightly losing. Slightly losing.
Okay, good enough.
Slightly losing, because this is so stupid. Why can't I put it down below it anymore? What happened to the site? Even.
What if you just type slight losing?
Bad, that's over that.
Slight ad.
Slide losing.
And then can you put a space in between?
No. Oh wait, what the hell?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. That looks okay.
Why is why
Why
is
is
it
it right aligned?
why is it okay for that?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Hang
We
on,
made it
hang-
work. We
hang
made
on,
it
now-
work.
Now can I do this? Why?
Hey, there we go. Nice.
Why?
All right.
Oy
I
vey.
think we can just wrap it up there. This is a good matchup chart. Good work, team.
No, shut up, Aqua.
All right, now it lets me do it. I hate the site already, and we're literally just starting. And I said at some point I'd do a regular tier list for before Evo. I've got to do this shit again at some point. Oh god, this is going to... I don't even know, man. Alright, so, well, I guess...
Gotta rename the Grimnir tier to D to accurately reflect his placement.
How's that?
Oh my god.
Why not start with a little controversy just for the hell of it?
The rage bait is gonna be insane.
Welcome to YouTube videos.
On the comments.
welcome to
I
YouTube
hate it here.
videos.
Let me out.
Nope, you're stuck with us, and since you're stuck with us since you guys are stuck with us for the fact this is probably gonna be a YouTube video, introduce yourselves.
How do I introduce myself? I'm just a random person.
You are you. Literally, just say who you are and that you play Grimnir.
I'm Yobu there. I'm some grim player that people know. I'm Grimnir Moses, according to Kilvins.
You make a shit ton of tech on Twitter, so you're a bit more than nothing. All right, Aqua.
Yeah,
You
I
wanna
am
give it a try?
Kittenaqua. I am some number Grimnir in NA right now. I think I'm like 4th. Be impressed.
Great demon makes setups for novelty and mental damage.
Exactly.
Yeah, Aqua is the person that will most tell you to go for an install and will do things just to mentally damage you.
I do install too. It's not that bad if you find use for it.
I'm not saying it's not that bad
You're
if you
the
find use.
only one that's
Grimnir
missing
player
out.
that
You're the only
doesn't
one
like
missing out,
install.
Zay. Come on.
Every other Grimnir player matches that shit as soon as they get 100 meter. You're the only one.
So
Okay, but the problem with Aqua is that like he does install and then loses the game off of it. Like it's not a winning play. I do install and I can find wins off of it.
Wait.
I'm not sure if I should be insulted by that.
I feel
No,
like
you're
I'm
not. It's
about
just
to
like
get sidetracked here by
no,
Yobu
it's not
shit-talking
an
my
install
install.
thing. It's just. How
I
do
can't let
explain
us
it?
get sidetracked here. Matchup try. Let's do it.
All right.
Why
Do
not-
we
why
have
not-
enough people here yet? You
No.
say we were waiting.
No, we literally only had 3 people here right now.
So you want to start now, or do we just want to keep on?
we
Do we want to talk about the many upsides of install? I can evangelize for like 20 minutes if we want.
Visit Zane's whole video, whole stream. He could just decide what he wants.
I'm down to start there, or I'm down to have freaking Aqua stall for time if you want either or, because who knows, Wednesday evenings is always strange times for streams. I can't lie. So I'm down either or. So I guess in a way start. Do you guys want to just go in order of character, or we want to start specifically in sections?
In order of character sounds less controversial. If we try to start with winning matchups, we're gonna get gridlocked before we even begin.
Yeah, he's actually kind of right on that. We gotta do character order.
I mean, you aren't wrong. Okay, so you want to Aqua, do you want to go on a rampage, or do you want to start? I'm down with either.
Let's just start now.
All right, we're gonna be here
I
for a
think
little
for
while
the sake
anyways.
of a YouTube video, we gotta just start.
Well, if anything, we can always cut it down. Worst case scenario, but we can just start. All right. So first character, as always, with everything Grand Blue related, it's Gran. So what do we think about Gran?
I mean, Grand Blue himself. So
Grimnir is slightly winning. Or Grimnir winning. Grimnir is slightly winning or winning.
it's got to be slightly winning, right? We're just a better character. I don't think we have
we're literally
anything that
just a
makes the
better
grand
character.
matchup particularly good, but Grimnir is just like legit tier list gap. so it's slightly winning.
Not wrong. If Grimnir didn't have an option to just wipe away our tornado and throw a projectile, I'd say winning. But since he technically can wipe away the projectile, we'll just make it. I disagree. Slightly winning. Also, I'm gonna flip these around. I'm gonna make winning on top and losing at the bottom.
You have to put one check mark in the times we all agree. Let's go.
you actually.
Oh yeah, we're keeping all the stats.
Great. All right. So Jita. Is this
Slightly winning.
Let's say
winning.
Jita the same thing pretty much.
I think we win Jita harder than we win Grand personally.
I actually agree with that as well. I think we beat Jita harder than Grand.
Yeah, I can agree. Yeah, ironically enough, I agree with that too. Just because at least when Grand hits us, it hurts. When Jita hits us, it usually doesn't hurt. All right, this should be the first interesting one, Catalina.
This is the first interesting one.
Yeah,
I hate it. Someone else is going first. I volunteer anyone else.
I think it's slightly winning for Grimnir.
I think it's even.
I think I'm going with even too.
All right,
Why do you guys say even?
Why do you think it's slightly winning? She has better buttons. She's got the 9-frame DP. She has good projectiles.
And her ultimate projectile basically being instant can almost guarantee a punish if you throw a projectile at any point when she has 50%.
Those don't sound problematic.
Also one of our only options, one of our best options on defense being guard cancel is literally risk your own death against her.
To be fair, if they're pressing light wall while we're on defense, we're like happy to see that most of the time. I'm more worried when the Catalina just like stands at the awkward mid-range and bullies us with buttons. That's the problem for me.
Yeah, that's fair too. I was just adding that on top of the other things we had already said.
That's fair. It's more than nothing for sure.
Okay, so that's our side. Now why are we slightly winning?
I just don't see this character as problematic. The only time where Catalina gives me a problem is when we're on defense and she does space stagger pressure, in which at that point it's like I can't really figure out what to do against that. It just doesn't really feel good. But other than that, it's like I can't see how we're winning either, or like how we're even either. Just no.
You literally just described a situation where we're in trouble. But then when we're not in that situation, we're not in trouble. Isn't that literally what even stands for?
Fine. We can put in even.
All
right,
going so well so far.
All right, someone besides me take Charlotta because I got PTSD for this bitch.
I'm gonna take the controversial stance and say this one is also even. But that's probably skill issue on my part. I think I'm just not very good at this matchup.
I hate the fact that she gets a double overhead against us.
That's really funny. I've never been hit by it actually.
The only person that hits me by that is the only person that gets me with that is Aram. That's because he's the only one that actually goes for it.
So, for me, she's short, so we can't hit her with air dash. She like legit just goes under air dash. I think she's the only character in the game. Light DP is a demon button. Her offense is strong, and her jump is obnoxious. So I think she has really good tools into us. I think it's even.
She's got good tools against us. Light holy ladder literally hits both sides and catches Grimnir. The second goes in the air while being basically unpunishable. And most of our normals struggle to even hit her before she even does that move. Anyways, and she is really small, so dashing already sucks. Ways to be plus, which sucks. The double overhead, which sucks. And then the fun part, as I learned at Combo Breaker, she can literally invalidate one of our corner Okis with her parry.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
The parry's another thing.
Don't you just do the 2-2-U version then?
Yeah, you either do the 2-2-U version or you just you can technically spot dodge it as long as you do it immediately. But basically the Oki is basically you can't get through Oki anymore from it though. So you basically have to do the 2-2-U. In which case you're then all of a sudden worrying about DP or not. Or technically you can still worry about parry there too. So you're basically forced to do a worse Oki against her just because of who she is.
Man, it's kind of alright.
That being said though, I'm still going to say even because we still can just chuck a billion projectiles at her. I just hate the matchup because Zeron kicks my ass.
I don't have enough information on this matchup to be honest. I can't make a statement.
Then even it is. And yes, Zillion, the Charlotte character is busted. Lancelot, I say winning.
Winning.
I think this is one of our best matchups.
Agreed.
If we had a tier above winning, I'd put him there. Maybe we should make that tier.
No, Sandalphon goes there.
I want to. No, Lancelot's an easier matchup than Sandalphon.
There's no way.
I don't know what you see in the Sandy matchup, Yobu. I think it's winning for us. I don't think it's like that free.
Yeah, I mean slightly winning or winning for him, but easier than Lancelot? I do not see that in the slightest.
Damn, maybe I gotta ask Vanitas for games then.
Wait, are you having just that easy of a time against Sandalphon, or are you just not having as easy a time against Lancelot?
Not having as easy a time against Lancelot, but I think that's just a me problem. I can probably fix that.
That's fair. You just gotta learn to mash the dash. Simple as that. All right,
I'm pretty sure I mashed the dash anyways. There's probably more problems to it than just that.
I don't know. Against a lot of Lancelot, that literally is the situation. But either way, Percival.
Winning, or slightly winning.
I'd say slight.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like in between there. Either or. I can't say either or. I'm the tiebreaker, aren't I? No, I'm not. Did we say slightly? I have no idea.
I said slightly. You said could see either or, and you're also saying either or. So I guess winner is slightly because I'm the only one that's actually picked one.
I would say slightly winning because Percival has the 9-frame DP. Because like usually in this matchup we just get TK dashes for like completely free. Like Percival wants to play neutral, we just easily skip that. But if we do TK Steve dash and he does 9-frame DP, then we're kind of back to the starting point. So
I don't think 9-frame DP really moves the needle on any matchups meaningfully because it's already like if you're in a position to 9-frame DP, you've already misplayed your counterplay. You can just duck it and like own us way harder than that.
As you have learned, not many people do that.
Like if you're just sitting there crouching, you're asking to get 6XL'd.
Sure, absolutely. Well, like this is why the character is strong. We agree, but at the same time, like the 9-frame DP doesn't matter that much. Is all I'm saying.
If anything, the fact that he has a 9-frame DP and the fact that he has the ultimate flame carpet is the only reason why I don't put it in winning because otherwise we pretty much win in almost every other aspect, pretty much.
All right, sure, I'm good with that.
La Diva. How good?
This is surely just like Giga winning.
You know what? I'm down for that. I'm down to say we're just winning.
As long as you have the ability, as long as you can duck properly, we are winning. Nope, not in bottom one. We are winning.
Wrong.
As long as you have the ability to duck, you are winning. If you don't have the ability to duck, we are either slightly winning or even. But it literally all comes down to can you duck.
We're winning.
Which unfortunately for Ladiva, I honestly think, and I say this as someone who still loses to Ladiva from time to time because I'm terrible against grapplers. It really is more so a player problem than the matchup.
I mean, the grappler matchup is very volatile.
Is there a reason to let go of Delta? Like, if you just hold crouch, she can't really touch you because she has no 6XL, right?
Ladiva? She's a 6XL.
She does.
I mean, she has a 6XL, but like, it's like not that good enough to be a threat when it turns like
No,
Actually,
Who you guys
She
6XL
has
and
the
neutral?
privilege. She
Like
has the
compare
only
compare
6XL in
Ladiva
the game.
6XL to Belio 6XL.
okay.
Nah, wait, hear me
we-
out. Ladiva has the only 6XL in the game that wins against TK Air Dash. The only one. Clearly, that means it's hard losing.
Never mind. Shut up!
All right,
No,
I agree.
don't do
I agree.
that,
I agree.
Zane.
I agree. I agree. He made a good point. What can I say? No, I'm joking. No, and to answer your question, why bother to stop holding crouch? Because at some point you gotta do something.
Yeah, that I agree. But I feel like most of the time when you're on crouch, you can kind of just chill and take your time.
Pretty much. But like I said, as long as you have the ability and you're able to duck when you see lariats and then punish accordingly, you will win the matchup. But as of times I have proven where when you either fail to duck or you duck and then think you got hit and you try to brave counter and you get raging strike instead, you can feel a lot of pain if you don't do it properly.
Yeah.
But like I said, like I said though, that is unfortunately a you issue and not the matchup issue, which brings us to our next character, something that me and Aqua are not going to agree on, Matera.
So, in my personal opinion, we lose this matchup. Slight losing.
I say we're even.
I don't think we're losing. That's for sure. So it's either winning or slightly winning.
Really? Now that's a okay. Now that
I
okay.
think defense is way too doomed for us for this to possibly be winning, and I don't think neutral is free. Neutral is like very interactive on both sides.
If neutral was free like it was last patch, I would agree because I used to say that Matera was one of our best matchups. Okay, not our best matchup.
Me too.
But up there before all of a sudden we can't do a thing without her blasting us out of the air. But now,
I think another point. I think Matera players did legitimately just get better at the matchup.
That is true too. I will not argue that, but you can. But at the same time, because her main arrows all got made faster, it became much easier to blast us out of the air. Which at that time, besides just roll until you get close enough, was both a easier and more powerful way of dealing with her, and that option basically was removed for us once everything got made quicker.
When you say that, do you just keep trying to 5U into a seal?
No, not right now. like nowadays, basically, I'm either waiting to get 50%, looking for an opportunity to go for like a 2U or something, since she always plays around the distance to go for a 2U, or just roll. That's usually what I do nowadays.
I do a lot of neutral jumping or walking forward and hoping she expects me to neutral jump. I'm playing it like a zoner matchup. Maybe that's a scrub take.
I'll be
If
honest,
she gives you the chance, though, of course, if you see the opportunity to do some seal bullshit, you do some seal bullshit, and then you probably just win the round. But in my experience, those moments are not very common. Not anymore.
If we're sitting on top of a seal and there's also a butterfly right at us and we do TK seal dash RPS, how likely are we going to win that interaction?
Very, very low.
If there's a butterfly on screen, I think
if there's a butterfly basically on top of us,
like,
and we go for a tiger knee dash, more often than not, I have found myself getting shots and then at the same time hit by the butterfly into a full combo.
Cause like I feel like it's easy to read what the material wants to do when the butterfly is on us, so we can just RPS that interaction, and usually we win that because the arrow wouldn't be able to hit us. It would just trigger the butterfly, but if we do it preemptively, then we kind of dodge it. Do we not?
If he does the high arrow, we do not. If he does the low arrow, then we do.
I'm pretty sure we beat the high arrow as well.
I don't believe
No,
so. I don't believe
absolutely
so.
not.
I just fought sharks not too long ago, and I dodged the high arrow.
Okay, I have training mode open. I am going to chat right now just for you.
Oh no!
Here's Matera. I gotta record her doing a high arrow. There it is. Now let me set up install.
Stream it.
Nope, just got sniped out of the air.
That's what I thought.
Stream it, Aqua. I gotta see this.
He doesn't believe you.
Screen share, you got it, buddy, just for you.
Yeah, let me see this.
Don't worry, stream.
Okay.
Don't worry, stream. And there it is. Yep, and immediately sniped.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no way in hell there's no way in hell that the Grimnir dashed over that. You see how high that is?
Okay, maybe you guys are right then.
So that's what.
Maybe
So
the
that's
matchup is, maybe the matchup is just even then.
like I said.
Give us the low arrow.
Yeah, low arrow. You can definitely do it.
Get punished for this, I think. Yeah. Because she ducks the actual air dash hit. You don't get to punish it even. So if she's holding, block button, you're in, but you're not punishing, and she'll just brave counter you, and then you're so back.
Yeah, the amount of times that where I've gotten a Tiger Knee dash over a low seal, but then just gone way over her head. I was just like, God damn it! Like I made the right call, and I'm still losing.
Are we putting her even then?
That being said though, I still think she's an even.
That's fine. We can call it a skill issue on me.
Even. Yeah, exactly. I just think that I'm not good enough yet. Maybe if I learn more, then I wouldn't find the matchup as bad. But I guess even it is.
All right. So this next one is going to be a fun one for the sole reason that Koji Coco made a Grimnir matchup tier list, then sent it to me a while ago, and he has Luane as either the 5th or 6th worst matchup for Grimnir, saying that we slightly lose this matchup, and I don't see it.
We're winning this matchup.
I would say slightly winning, but I could see an argument for winning.
Yeah,
either or really.
Yeah, my initial thought was slightly winning, but I could definitely see the argument as well for just straight up winning.
I think it's just straight up winning.
One of our worst matchups is Obscene Cap, though. He has no idea what he's talking about. This is why I don't listen to top players' opinions. They're always one-sided.
Yeah, no wonder no one listens to me. I'm down to put him in winning because I'll lose games to Luane from time to time just because of Luane's shenanigans, but it's because I lost to Luane's shenanigans. It's not because the matchup sucks. I just failed in the shenanigans.
Fair enough, makes sense.
You gotta
sometimes you do just
Luane.
I do beat Luane.
This is a shame to me.
I mean, I said you gotta teach Zenith how to beat Luane.
Oh, I gotta teach Zenith. Dude, do you have any idea how many times I have said that, especially after seeing him lose 2-0 twice to Luane's?
Don't we have direct contact with him on Discord right now?
Yes, actually we do. And yet I'm pretty sure he picked up swords for that matchup.
Oh wow. Right,
I don't know what matchup he picked up swords for, but I'm pretty sure he picked up swords for some matchups, and I think that is one of them. Anyways, Fairy.
Swords has to be one of the easiest pocket characters. All right, so before we move on, what do we think of making a tier above winning, but for real? Because there's no way Luane and Jita are in the same tier as Lancelot and Ladiva.
Okay.
Isn't that why we just use numbers then?
Hang on, so I'll just make a row above, and I'm just going to call it Ha. How's that?
All right, that's fine.
All right, I'm not gonna lie, just as a joke, because I would find it really funny. If Lancelot was the only character we put up here, I wanted to call it this.
That's pretty toxic.
I know, but he deserves it. So
I think there are going to be more characters in that tier.
I know,
Vega
but
gets to dodge the allegations.
I know, but it would have been really funny though.
All
right, everybody happy with the Ha tier?
I'm so happy.
all right, so a character that's not going in the Ha tier, Fairy.
Winning, right? Just winning. Silence? Really? We don't think it's winning?
I was waiting for you.
I think it's slightly winning. I'm just not good enough at this matchup yet.
I don't before.
I'm not saying I'm super good at the matchup either, but I don't see how this is anything other than winning. Fairy's just like not a strong enough character, and we can really bully her. Air Dash is really good in this matchup. 214U is really good. We have great options for dealing with Gigi.
Yeah,
Like,
if I was if I was if and this is gonna get brought up more likely later when CAG comes up. If I was better at 214U, I probably would be more on that side. So because of that, I'll agree with winning because it's an annoying matchup, but you literally have to. But Fairy pretty much has to like us and Fairy do very similar things once we get a hit onto people. But with Fairy, you have to do it like 5 times to kill somebody. But
Alright, I'm good enough. I'm good with that.
All right, Zeta. A matchup that I used to say we lose before or slightly lose before fuzzies were removed. Now I think we're either even or slightly winning.
I would say slightly winning.
Is that
I don't
even a
think this
good
is
character
something-
at this point?
Probably not, honestly. Her
If she's
buttons
not a
are
good
very
character,
questionable.
then it just might be slightly winning.
All right,
Like, what does Zeta do?
Fair.
Yeah, what does Zeta do?
I don't know. Be annoying.
Yeah,
Be annoying
you're so
through.
right.
Be annoying through parry. Try to get us to 2H with our terrible 2H. I don't know. So yeah, slightly winning.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah,
Slightly
yeah.
winning's
It's
fine.
not gonna work out.
Yeah, so slightly winning is fine. All right, Vasaraga.
This is gonna be a fun one because Yobu likes this matchup.
Really?
I think we're slightly winning. That's the best I'll give it.
Really?
I think we're slightly losing.
There's no way.
Yobu might just be better than us, Zane.
I guess. Are you just that good at the RPS of Vasaraga stomp? Are you just always right every time he starts stomping?
I'm not always right, but it's not that bad. Vasaraga's not bad. Why do you guys have trouble against Vasaraga?
Far
I think last patch when we had fuzzies and he didn't have 3 uses of his armor, I think we were winning the matchup. I don't think we're winning.
No, it's still fine. I'll tell you why it's fine. Because if he just does EX style with armor, we do EX tornado literally anywhere. You can put it in front of our face with standing, or we can do.
If he does it anywhere near us, it doesn't matter.
EX tornado.
And how does
is, in my
Vasaraga approach?
experience,
We just waste his
usually
time.
Too slow.
We can also just jump right at him with TK Seal Dash anyway, so we get our turn first. Otherwise, we're just waiting for him to get his turn.
And
Yeah,
then he either ducks it and we get hit, or he blocks it and then he BCs and then gets 5U, or he just 5Us and then hits us anyways.
TK Seal Dash in this matchup is
We can bait it.
questionable
It's fine. We can
because
bait it.
We can bait
Fireball-
5.
You Fireball has
We
an
can bait 5U.
box.
It's fine. This is not bad for us. It's slightly winning. I promise.
Unless you bait the 5U and hit him in return, that is a worse trade for us. Because more than likely we just use seals for letting him getting freaking Soul Forge.
No, I promise this matchup is fine. Maybe what I'm saying does not make sense, but I promise you, this matchup is fine. We're slightly winning.
Yobu's just better, Zane. I hate to say it.
Apparently,
We're just not good enough.
apparently, but because it's 2 versus 1, we're putting in slightly losing.
There's no way! No! Oh my god!
Because nothing you said is changing my mind of why you think this matchup is winning.
You know what? Do not say that I tried, but I did not try. I actually tried. I did learn this matchup, and I tried. I know Grimnir wins this matchup. Do not say I did not try, chat. Okay?
He's already calling to the comments. Don't you dare say anything about what I've been training. The Grimnir cartel always gets their way. Narma. Alright, so that's more I think what people were hoping for. So that being said, Narmaya.
I think we are slightly winning.
I said we are slightly winning this matchup.
You guys say slightly winning? I thought it was even this whole time. Why
I
do you
could
guys
see an
say it's
argument for even, but in my experience, we just sort of like tear gap her. So
Yeah, basically the one thing she has on us is the fact that her throw bait is plus. That
Isn't
otherwise
Namaya top tier?
is Namaya top tier? Yes,
what?
So then what's
Since when?
I think she is.
she's top tier. Where have you been? Like, you think that all the top tiers didn't? You think that just because all the previous top tiers didn't get nerfed, Namaya wouldn't rise up?
To be fair, Vasaraga rose up to take the place of two characters who I think are both still top tier despite their nerfs.
If I wasn't even aware that Normaya is top tier, I think that's the best evidence that we're winning this matchup.
Okay, but why do you guys think Namara is slightly winning then? I thought it was even this whole
I think
time.
it's just sort of similar to Gran, where she's a decent character, but we're just better.
Basically, like I said, we basically do everything better except for the fact that her throw bait is plus. That's quite literally the only thing really she has over us.
She has better buttons. But,
okay, yeah, but that's a given for just about every character in this game. So I think that just comes naturally at this point.
All right, if you guys is slightly win, then it's slightly winning. I'll just have to figure it out.
All right. One of my most hated characters to fight against, because 5U is a bitch.
I hate
sure
this
is a
character
bit.
too.
I think it's slightly losing.
I was not expecting that from you. I was expecting you to say even or slightly winning.
I'm gonna call this one even.
I'm torn between even and slightly losing. That 5U legitimately ends every single thing we do in our entire kits.
It could just be a skill issue. I can acknowledge that maybe I'm just terrible at playing 5U RPS, but in my experience, he presses 5U and then neutral is over, and usually in his favor.
Yep, because it'd be one thing if the 5U RPS was once he activates it, it's gotta go the full. You either have to hit him for it to proc, or he's gotta wait the full amount of seconds before it goes away. But no, he can activate it early. So even if you go up in the air and don't do anything because of 5U, he can either activate it himself and punish you if you're too close already, or he just cancels it if you're not going into it. And then he just takes his turn because everything he does is plus.
Now that's Zane's perspective as the resident air Grimnir player. As the resident ground Grimnir player, I'll say you try and play ground RPS and he just cancels it and it has no recovery, and then he goes into either like far M or U dash punch or whatever and you die. So you try to beat him in the air, he kills you. You try to beat him on the ground, he kills you. He just always kills you. I hate this button. But even if we ignore 5U and neutral, he also just has like broken offense. That's his entire character archetype, so it makes sense. But as a character with bad defense, we don't like characters with broken offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. His entire offensive game plan is I'm going to be plus on everything, and unless you either brave counter or DP, you're not escaping without eating a shit ton of chip first, and that's assuming he doesn't loop his specials through a few staggers. And we don't have a meterless DP, so we can't exactly just escape or take the risk at any point until we hit 50%. So basically, it's brave counter or just take all the offense. So I'm fine putting in slightly losing at anything just to hear. Although I can mentally hear Skill yelling from Europe how wrong we are. That's because he doesn't believe in 5U against Grimnir.
Yeah, he has
Well,
to try
that's
that
a
more.
skill issue for him.
That's a skill issue. That's a skill issue for Skill. After all his complaining about swords, it's slightly losing. Yes, and spoiler to literally nobody. Could you guys really see see Sora's in the same losing tier as Beelzebub? And before Yobu suddenly is like, nah, I don't think Beelzebub's that bad.
I don't think it's that bad. I'm being serious.
Okay, there you go. So
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So we'll get there. But first off, Zoe, I say slightly losing.
I
I
think
say
this is
slightly
literally
winning.
the same matchup as Sora's. Like, it is an identical character.
I think it's slightly winning.
How?
What do you mean?
How have we did all of our explanations for Sora, so it's your turn for Zoe.
Alright, so here's the thing that I do agree with. I agree that neutral is in her favor. That's the one thing I can say for sure. But in terms of defense, her offensive threat is just not very strong. Like, we can just hold down back all the time, and she cannot really touch us. If she tries to go for like a throw bait or like strike floor or something, we can just fuzzy match that by default, and then we can get out of it. And we have like very strong conversions off of it because we have some insane meters and old specials. Whereas like if we put her in the court, then she kind of just dies, you know.
So we're only winning when we're blocking.
Everything you just said
that's what I'm
also
saying, because
applies to
I just don't
Sora's.
think
So
that
why
Zoe's
is
a good
Sora
character.
slightly losing?
I don't think Zoe's a good character enough to say that.
So we're losing. So we're losing at all times except for when we're blocking. Is that what? Am I missing
If we
something
get
here?
like one interaction, we snowball that so hard. That's like that for every single matchup, is it not? Unless we have a DP, then maybe.
Are we going to put every matchup in slightly winning then? Because if we win an interaction, we're going to probably win the game.
Yes, because our character is broken, Zane.
Okay, so we need to move Matera, Charlotta, Catalina. Actually, no. To be fair, you kind of said all these are slightly winning, so I can't even say that. God damn it! I just realized you're literally putting every matchup in winning.
And for me, I don't have a real losing matchup. I just have suggestions.
Yobu might just be better.
I think Yobu really is just better than us, man.
I don't want to hear that from you. You're like the best Zane in NA right now.
The best Zane in NA,
I know that actually no. I think Smash Bros. Melee Zane, number one in the world for years, is probably the better Zane, but.
Okay.
But again, I just don't see a situation where we're going to say, hey,
I'll compromise with even.
And by default, that technically means it becomes slightly losing, since me and Aqua both say she's slightly losing.
And then for me, it's slightly winning.
Oh my god. I am scared for when we get to Beelzebub.
Whatever happens, democracy will always win. That's all I'm gonna say.
Then slightly losing then.
It's been like that for Vasaraga, so what more power do I have? At least I tried.
That is true. Again,
this matchup chart is not going to represent Yobu's thoughts at all. But we're still
That's why I said we should have 3 matchup charts, one for each our
own. Start making your own, buddy.
Compare results.
Again, it's just. I just don't understand how you say it's slightly winning when literally the only time you think we're winning is when we're blocking.
It's not that bad, I promise, man.
You're right. It's not that bad. That's why it's only slightly losing.
Yeah, imagine if Zoe was actually a character that actually hurt a lot more. Then she might actually be in losing because of the fact that
if she hurt a lot more, then yeah, I would say slightly losing. But she does not hurt that much.
So if she did damage, then he would agree that she would do more. Even though
did we not say that for Fairy?
Did we say that for Fairy? I think
that's what you said for Fairy.
That's what I said for Fairy. I said the fact that with Grimnir and Fairy do a lot of the same things when it comes to mix-up. It's just that we hurt when we do it.
It's true. I also think we win neutral in the Fairy matchup. I don't think we win neutral in the Zoe matchup.
And when we're fighting against Fairy, the only time we're not beating Fairy is when we're blocking. Again, but so it's kind of the opposite in that sense.
You know what? Whatever. Let's just move on.
Oh my god. Cag.
Even.
I'm gonna say slightly winning. Let's hear it, Zane.
Zane thinks he's losing.
I hate this matchup with a burning passion.
Yeah, I told you. I told you.
What
hate
degree of
I'm-
losing
I'm-
do you think it is, Zane?
It is not losing. It is even or slightly losing, in my opinion. It's not as bad as losing. All right, it's not. All right, it's not as bad.
Finally got a
I will
check
not
mark
go.
in
I
the
will not
times
go.
we all disagreed.
I will not go to. I will not go to that extreme. But I hate this matchup with a burning passion, and I'm fairly confident it's because of the fact that I'm primarily playing the air.
I think all of us play in the air, primarily. In the
Aqua
air.
does not.
Aqua plays a lot in the air.
He plays primarily on the ground.
Zane is the air Grimnir.
Accurate.
Like, if his air game gets shut down, he thinks the matchup sucks. This is a universal truth. You'll hear it in every character. I think we have a strong enough ground game that we can make a lot of the matchups that shut down our air options work, and Kag's absolutely one of them. Zane does not have the necessary experience with the Kag matchup to know how winning this is.
That makes a lot more sense. All right.
I'm not going. I can't exactly argue. That's 100% factual.
Zane was not aware that you kick punishes full screen spear until I told him recently.
Accurate. I always assumed that even if that could punish, I always assumed trap stopped it. It did not. It does not.
Wait, what does traps not do?
I thought so. I learned only recently that if Kag does full screen spear and it misses, you can punish it with 214U. And I also learned that if she has one or two traps on the ground, it will not stop the 214U. It will go right past it.
Oh wow, I actually never knew that.
Hey,
Maybe
I'm
it
not
is-
the only
maybe-
one.
Maybe it is slightly winning after all then.
Grimnir as a ground game. You wouldn't know by watching me play. Let me just put it that.
That is true.
Let me just put it that way. You would not know by watching me play.
So
The
then
thing
how'd
is,
you
his
learn that?
buttons aren't that good, but if you have seals, his reward is so high that it saves the ground game. That's basically what it comes down to.
I'm down with slightly winning then.
All right, so this time I'm getting beat by democracy.
Yes, how does it feel, Zane? How does it feel to have a matchup that
Not
you
like-
think turned
not-
out to be slightly winning?
Not like it's all that surprising, because I knew going into this I was going to get outvoted on CAG. Couldn't you do 2-1 for you on reaction that CAG throws out the trap? I don't think her trap has that much recovery in order to do
No,
it.
you cannot.
No,
It is-
you
I
can't.
have tried many times. It does not work.
Oh, there you go. UL, yip, winning.
Winning.
I'm okay with winning. Sure.
All right, Honore.
I think we're even.
I think I'm legit just not good enough at the Henri matchup to know.
I'm between even and slight winning on this.
I'm on even.
Then I am okay with even.
All right, you put it even. Let's do.
All right, Eustace.
Slightly
Do
winning.
we think it's slightly winning or winning? I'm okay with
Slightly
either.
winning or winning.
I'll agree with slight. I say with slightly just because unlike the likes of like Matera for example, once you're stuck in the corner against Eustace, I find it more difficult to get out of the corner against Eustace because you can't just roll things like you can Matera. But
I have a hard time agreeing with that statement, but that's okay.
but unlike Matera though, we're winning even when we're not close up. So that's why I think we're on the winning side for that matchup at least. Seox winning.
Winning.
Winning, yeah.
Vera.
Winning.
Yeah, winning.
Yeah, winning sounds okay. Similar to Jita.
Okay, Yobu, have at it.
It's even. Even or slightly losing. That's the best I'll go.
I say losing.
I'm also saying losing. We're all shocked. I want to hear the justification, though, Yobu. We have no way to deal with dive kick. It's like the best counter poke in the game. It gives him plus frames basically for free. If we don't have the 50 meter, his fireball is ridiculous. Because our jump is so bad that we can't really deal with it otherwise. We need to constantly be approaching. And once he has us in the corner, his corner pressure is very annoying to deal with. And he has great ways to stall for time until he gets his dive kick cooldown back. And then we have to deal with dive kick again.
Yep, and let's just face it, he just has good air buttons to snipe us out of the air, even if you try to do that. And also, you know, the whole fact that his suction ability legitimately can ignore tornadoes and then get a hit that puts us in a crouching state.
Yeah, for some reason, I learned recently, Karma has, I think, heavy clash priority and just crushes our kick. I tried to kick him, and he karma'd, and he killed me for it. And I was very upset.
Oh, even better. Okay, yeah, well, your turn.
How do I convince you guys it's even and that I just need more time?
What?
What does that mean?
Alright, so here's what I have to give. I don't lose to any other buffs besides Hava. So that's why I don't think it's like that bad. Like, but when I play against Hava, it just feels impossible. But I feel like if I just have more time to figure it out, maybe it won't be as bad. That's the only way I can just give it, but that's not very convincing, so whatever. I lost to democracy.
Yeah, like I said,
if you don't have any arguments for why it's anything other than losing,
if the argument is just I only lose to Hava, I don't know what to say to that. It's like, to be fair, like the only bubs I really lose to is Hava as well, but it doesn't mean I don't deal with Beelzebub basically saying screw you to every single thing I do at all times.
Alright, fine. I give up. You guys have way better arguments than I could ever give.
Hey, Belial.
I don't even know. Is it even? Is it slightly winning? It's one of those two.
It's either slightly winning or even.
I kind of want to say even.
Even it is.
I think it'd be even. I think it'd be even before I patch, but after Belial got nerfed, I might just be slightly winning at this point.
I could see it either way.
Yeah, I could too, but I think it's a relatively even matchup even before the changes, be it the nerfs to him or the removal of fuzzies. For the most part, both sides were relatively in agreement that it's a fairly even matchup. I think.
All right, even I'm down then.
Avatar Belial.
Winning.
I love the fact that we'd be hard losing this matchup if Avatar wasn't built like Avatar.
Yeah.
If Avatar Belial was just
if Avatar Belial legitimately had
did not get two shot, then like we be losing.
No, it's not even getting two shots. The fact that we're losing to him, but while we're losing to him, he puts himself in one touch scenario because of how much damage he does to himself, how much damage we do. If he legitimately didn't do that, he would probably be one of our worst matchups, even with him being at 14k HP. If he just didn't hurt himself, he probably would be one of our worst matchups.
Bro, but that's true for like everyone, right?
No, he's the only one that does that.
No, I mean, if he didn't hurt himself, he'd be a losing matchup for everyone because he'd be broken as fuck.
Oh, that I got you. Yeah, that's fair. They're the only characters with projectiles that can deal with his arrows, which, let's face it, aren't a ton. Would be the ones that could deal with him. All right, Anila.
Anrei will be the winning matchup against Avatar Belly if that happens.
True.
Is Anila winning or is it Ha? It's one of those two.
Good question.
I think it's Ha.
I kind of want to put it in Ha.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Oh god, Siegfried.
Because I think there's a decent argument that's an easier matchup for us than like Jita or.
I definitely would rather see a. Thank you, Grinch. I definitely would rather see an Anila on screen than Jita, Luane, Fairy, UL, Seox, Vera, or Avatar. That's for sure. Granted, at the same time, I'd rather not see a Lediva, but that's my personal hatred towards grapplers. So. All right. Here's another fun one. Yobu, you first, because I got to hear this.
There's no way, Yobu. Say it isn't so.
This is even. This is even.
What?
Okay. Why do you guys think it's losing?
All right, Yobu. Wait. But what do you think is our worst matchup? In your opinion, who is our worst matchup in the game?
So this is just my suggestion because at this point I only have suggestions, but I still think it's Verzucia.
Okay, I guess we'll get there. So what's the argument for Siegfried?
So I do agree, 2M is a real killer button for us, yes.
Yes, okay.
But I think all that does is that it just changes how we play offense. So we should be using far heavy less and doing far medium more. It usually beats out the Siegfried's far medium. Other than
offense
that,
the problem?
No, I'm just saying I'm saying his 2M is the problem. But like that's easy to work around really. I do agree that his 2H like kills everything, but I think that's whatever. His projectile, we can easily beat that with our EX Tornado. It doesn't really matter. That's all I have to say really. That's why I don't think it's losing for us. I think it's even. I want to know what you guys think, and maybe if I can add something to that.
Outside the fact that you said 2M isn't that bad, you mentioning the fact that his 2H literally guts us.
Yeah, you're the air guy. My bad, I forgot.
So his 2H guts us if we go in the air, and his 2M guts us if we stay on the ground.
Does he have a 9-frame DP?
He does not have a 9-frame DP.
It's playable. It's playable then.
Crouch the air dash. Actually,
then we
he has
just
an 8-frame DP. It's just ultimate. If he spends the 50.
We can just 6-0 him. We can spam tornado at him.
We cannot spam tornado at him. He has one of the best reaction supers in the game.
It'll be fine.
You're not good at arguments, Yobu. I'm sorry.
So for me, my opinion on the matchup, his 2H isn't even that big of a deal to me. Zane is the air guy, so yeah,
Accurate.
sorry Zane, that makes sense.
No, that's
but
fair.
his buttons just out-button us. So if we go in the air, we get owned. If we stay on the ground, we get owned. We just lose neutral. And then on defense, he stands at the Siegfried space and bullies us with buttons and fireballs and this big swing that does a lot of chip, and we just never get out. Basically, the only time we get out is when we build the meter for U Tornado, and if he dodges it, we're just in tears.
Oh, alright, fine.
So what's your spot there, Aqua?
My spot is it's either slightly losing or losing. It's somewhere like in between.
If you guys say it's losing, you're out of your mind.
For the sake of Yobu, I will say slightly.
Thank you.
If only.
Zane, what do you think it is? Out of curiosity, if you were making this matchup chart on your own, would you put him in losing?
I would consider it.
He's 100% putting him losing. He's 100% putting him losing.
I more than likely would put it in slightly, and then have Beelzebub and the character that we all know we're going to talk about later and losing, and then by the end of it, and then at the very end of it, I would decide then if which one I'm putting it in. More than likely it would end up being in losing, but it could also be either or, because this definitely used to be your worst matchup. Now it's still a shitty ass matchup in my opinion. Well, speaking of matchup that used to be relatively shitty, but isn't anymore, Nier.
It's going in Ha.
I say winning for this.
I'm fine with either degree of winning. So the thing is, I don't actually have that much experience playing this matchup the way you're supposed to play it, because I think it's boring if you just brave counter the puppet every time she throws it at you. But if you do that, she just sort of loses, right?
Yeah, you can even punish her for that.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just beat the puppet and then
sometimes.
get a punish.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I almost never do that either. I always just jab the puppets.
Jabbing the puppet is RPS. Brave counter gets you out guaranteed. So if you
I
brave
know.
counter, the matchup has to be like giga winning.
It's
So I could see
Ha. It's 100% Ha. There's no way it's
fine.
winning. It's Ha.
Fine. We'll put it in Ha. All right, Lucilius.
Winning.
I could
This
see
is
winning or
winning.
slightly winning.
Yeah, I was considering those two as well.
This is winning.
Yobu is really confident, so I'll allow winning.
Why not? I'm okay with that too. All right. 2B, a character that 2B players says Grimnir is her worst matchup, or at least one of them.
If Grimnir is her worst matchup, then maybe she actually is top one. Anyway, I say it's even.
I say it's even as well.
I say it's even or slightly winning. I know I can beat this character. She just exists to piss me off.
She exists to piss everybody off.
You know. Some days Aqua Aqua's actually okay with this matchup. Like he does not get annoyed at all.
I like playing the matchup. I think it's fun to play. But
Yeah, you hear that thing?
I
Is he not a psychopath?
I find it ironic that you're okay playing the character that you have to play patient against, but you think Matera is one of the worst the character you have to play patient against.
well, the thing is, 2B, if you block long enough, you will find a place to get out. Matera, if you block long enough, you lose
Okay,
the
that's
game.
what we said for Zoe. That's what we said for Fairy. Blah blah blah.
No, we didn't say that for
Okay,
Fairy.
but we don't lose neutral against 2B.
We did not say that against
No,
Fairy.
no. We lose neutral against. You know what? Forget it. I was about to say something that was probably wrong. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point.
Well, what we're talking about is another character I despise, and that's Vayne. Because again, I'm the Air Grimnir guy.
This is one of our best matchups, straight up.
I think it's slightly winning.
I think it's slightly winning.
Okay, well, agree to disagree, gentlemen.
Wait. Why do you think it's hard winning though?
No, he doesn't. He thinks it's Ha.
Yeah, I think this is one of our best matchups, straight up. So, if he sets up shield and we have ground seals, he dies. If he whips full screen swing, he dies. The only thing he can ever try to do is just approach us in like 6-6L. And if he does that, like, if that's the only thing he can do, what is he really doing?
So I'm down
to put him in winning or Ha then.
I'm just going to assume here he whiffs the swing. You just 2-1 for you.
How did you know? How did you know, Zane?
Because odds are if they say whiff some form of special, it's going to end up being you saying just 2-1 for you.
Yeah,
Well,
he's correct.
it depends on the special, but this is one of the most punishable specials in the game.
Yeah,
I will say the 5U does make the matchup more annoying. It's a really funny button now, but I can't imagine it changes the matchup that much.
I still okay. So I say slightly winning. Aqua says Ha, and Yobu, you moved it to winning.
Yeah, I moved it to winning, but I'm down to put that into Ha as well, so it's probably just winning then.
So averages out to winning, since this time we actually have all three of us have them in a different tier.
Is this the first time? The first time we're finally getting away with it?
I guess.
crazy.
Beatrix.
This is even.
What do we think of slightly winning?
Even or slightly winning was my opinion.
I thought it was even. I didn't think it was slightly winning.
I could see even, but personally, like, I think
I just feel like solid top tier shows are usually even.
We basically have ways to stop the things she does. There's more, and unlike the basic show, and unlike the typical Shotos, her projectile isn't going to automatically either beat ours unless if she doesn't EX unless she's close, or even trade with ours again if she's not close. We can literally sit full screen and throw projectiles, and she basically has to run forward and go for 2-2 something, and then just hope we didn't put a tornado in place.
Oh. Okay, then it's slightly winning then.
Yep, I'm down for slightly winning. All right, Yobu, you're up again.
It's either even or slightly losing. What about you guys? You guys
Losing.
just went
oh, you're
quiet.
not gonna give an explanation. We're just calling it that. I would probably say it's even. I don't think this is losing anymore. Personally.
Really interesting.
This is not. I don't think it's like hard losing, but I still think it's slightly losing because like neutral got a lot easier, but like the conversions. But like she still has some really good conversions, and then she puts us in the corner, and then she has jump scare 2-1-4-H, and it's like that's tough.
Yeah, she still has jump scare 2-1-4-H. Her 6-2-3 is still annoying to deal with. Her block string pressure is still near impossible for us to deal with, even without 5U being plus anymore. So that's why I think she's still terrible. The only difference now is that if we're sitting at literal max screen, we're no longer in danger of dealing with an unreactable pillar.
So I agree that defense is bad for us, obviously. But I don't think we lose neutral in this matchup, necessarily. I think we have answers to everything she does. It's just difficult to execute. But I think if you are playing very well, you can shut down the Versusia player's neutral approaches pretty effectively as Grimnir. And her defense is just as bad as ours. So once we have her in the corner, she's also gasping for air. It cuts both ways. So I think it's...
All right, I'm
I'm down with even then.
All right, I would have moved mine to slightly losing after explanation, but even it is. Vicola.
Ah.
Huh?
Yep. Ah.
I don't know this character well enough to say, so I'll allow it.
How it is. All right, the character is Kilvin says we should put it in losing because Sandalphon just destroys Grimnir.
Huh?
Again, I don't see where you're getting hauled with this character.
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear your explanation. I would personally put him slightly winning.
Same.
I'll put him winning then.
I just don't see where. Again, if you have any explanation for it, I'm down to hear it because again, where are you getting ha from this?
Good question. Maybe Sandalphon's just not a good character enough.
Are you saying Sandalphon is like as bad as Lancelot, Anila, Nier, Vicola? Is that what we're doing?
Alright, winning then. Winning. It's winning, come on. If we put Lucilius in winning, then we can put Sandalphon in winning.
That's a pretty compelling argument, actually.
So,
Oh, I could see that.
I'm still thinking slightly. Did you change your mind? Did you change your mind there, Aqua? Or are we putting in slightly?
Let's put him in slightly, because I think Lucilius has more problems as a character.
And Ha for the end?
Yeah.
Why not?
Not enough experience with this matchup to know for sure.
I don't have enough experience either, but...
It's hard to imagine this being anything other than Ha.
This is an easy... I would rather fight Galleon than Ladiva any day. Because like seriously, imagine going up against Ladiva, but she basically doesn't have a good way to get in order to even set up her plus frames, and her grabs are reactable.
Wait. What's Ladiva's good way to get in and set up her plus frames?
She at least has a option. It's not a good option, but it's at least a option. Galleon doesn't even have a option.
Galleon has EX Dragon Claw. It's a pretty good buff.
EX Dragon. What's the EX Dragon Claw? Is that the
That's
The big
that's the
jump
one where-
scare normal, not normal. The jump scare special.
the special. I would not call that a get in tool.
It's +4 or something.
I'm not saying
the
it's
thing
not
is,
good.
usually
I'm just not
it
calling it a
hits
get.
you.
It
hits you, and then she's in. That's the thing.
I'm not saying it's not a good special, because it is really plus. It does have good range, but I can't call that a get in tool. Because she needs to be.
I mean, when I play Galleon, that's my get in tool, and a lot of the time I press it and I'm
that's
in.
not a good thing, though.
It's a better get in tool than anything Ladiva has. I'll tell you that.
We're
This matchup is surely Giga winning either way. So
yeah, we're talking
debating nothing here.
we're talking about two characters that are both in the most winning section. So, isn't Vicola and Ha for everyone? I don't know if I'd say for I'm not gonna say for everyone.
Vicola's only winning matchup is Vera.
Interesting. Now the diva.
No, it's Vera. We keep saying Ladiva is bad to zoners, but then we see Ladiva getting into zoners every single time, and then they just die in the corner.
I'm not sure what you're watching, but I see Ladiva struggle mighty heavily against zoners.
That's just Grand Blue. Grand Blue works in the weirdest ways.
Okay. Sure.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
To be fair, that's a better reasoning for anything that I can think of. Pretty much, just don't worry about it. But to be fair, outside this list isn't too far from what I would do. Versusi is higher than I would expect, and I wasn't expecting, I probably would have ended up having Siegfried down here. Let's be honest, but
this tier list is cursed to me.
we know because anything even and below pretty much you did not agree with.
Oh God.
It is shocking.
Yobu is the biggest Grimnir up player I've ever met. Apparently,
it is shocking to me that we have like Kat and Charlotta in the same tier as Versusia. It is still shocking to me.
Maybe I just got gaslighted.
I'm sorry to.
Who knows?
I think they are in the same tier. Maybe I gaslit myself, but I think those are very comparable matchups.
I disagree, but I'll be honest. We did end up agreeing more times than I expected.
It got interesting, mostly because it's me, but whatever.
Yeah, because as soon as we got because apparently you're on the side of the people that say Grimnir has no losing matchups.
Yobu, you seem to just form your matchup opinions on pure vibes. Like, I win this when I play people, therefore it's a winning matchup. Is that an accurate assessment?
Wait, say it again.
So you play a Voss player and you beat them, and then you're like, Voss must be winning.
No, it's not like that.
I mean, that's
what some
arguments came down to.
That's what the Beelzebub argument was. I beat all Beelzebubs that are not Hava, therefore we're even.
Hold on. the bombs, I agree with. That's completely my fault. You guys are right on that. The Vasaraga, I actually learned this matchup, and I know I can beat it. I promise. It's not that bad. Grim does well
Sure,
against
but you
him.
haven't told us why. What about it lets us beat him? I'm interested in getting better at the matchups.
Same.
So,
I'm
you know,
gonna I'm
you've
gonna be
got the
I'm gonna
scrolls.
have to
Okay,
deal
alright,
I'm gonna
let's-
have to
alright.
deal with BSG for the rest of the year. So,
Didn't you just beat BSG at CEO? Stop.
do you have any idea how lucky I got in that last game where I lost 2 interactions and then I just decided I'm going to jump in the corner and see if it works, and it worked, and I literally won because it worked.
Oh my. Alright. Do you guys think Vasara without armor is a problem?
I do not think
Not-
Basaraga
not-
without armor is a problem.
Not particular. Not really.
So
no.
we win. So we win that. So we win that, right?
Yeah, we win. Yeah, we win. We
Is
win
it
when he
is
doesn't
it
have armor.
possible that we can just like play our offense in a way where we force him to hold block all the time, and he can't really touch us back, and we can also set up
No.
tornado in front of his face, and he can't really do anything about it. And even if he does get armor, right? Like let's say he beats us, BCs and armor. By the way, it's complete bullshit. I 100% agree with that. Fuck that interaction. But let's say that he BCs us and then does armor, right? We have ways to be able to like stop him from snowballing in a way where he gets like 1 knockdown off of us, armors up, and then repeats the whole process, and then we just sit there and die. Like we have actually something that we can do about that. We have seals that can how do I say this? We have ways to interact with his specials, with the seals. Like if he does stomp, for example, and we do TK seal dash, we can just like fly over it into the opposite side and then get a punishment unless he does the high. In which that case, if he does high, then that's sort of fine. We can just sit there and then I give up.
So you can get behind him, but it's reactable, right? Us jumping in the air to do that is reactable. He can just swat us out if he isn't already committed to an option. And at that point, you're saying just win the RPS.
And
No,
because
we just win the RPS, we win the matchup.
Hold on. Vasaraga says they don't really react to that. It's more of like a preemptive decision. Because like even if they do try to react to it, they still lose. Like they can still lose that interaction. Because of the way armor works. Like if we TK steel dash and they armored it, right? They're still in stop, right? At that point
Okay,
we will be already
interrupting you
behind
right
them.
here. We're not, when we say TK seal dash, we don't mean TK seal dash, right? You have to use a high seal if you want to get over Vasaraga. He's tall.
No, you can use the bottom steel TK steel dash and get behind him.
it has
during stop.
it has happened before for me, but for the love of God, I could not tell you how, because the vast majority of times I do it, I get swatted forward.
That's just the way it works. Like it does. Like TK steel dash is a strong counterpulse.
Also, isn't ultimate also it's a decent counter poke, but at the same time, even if we go off of that, if we just go, we basically, once he has 50%, we basically can never do it because ultimate shoulder tackle is a guaranteed punish on that as well, isn't it?
I've never had a Vasaraga do that to me. I'll be honest.
I'm fairly sure I've watched Vasaraga's test that, at least where actually does anyone in my chat know off the top of their heads what the startup is for Vasaraga's ultimate shoulder charge?
It loses the tick throw, so I assume it's not
It's 9
very.
frames.
It's 9 frames.
Just checked.
Then if we do it, then if they start stomping and we have seals already set up to do a Tiger Knee dash, then we just hope that it gets over them, and when they have 50%, then we can never Tiger Knee dash, pretty much out of fear of ultimate shoulder charge just killing us. On top of, playing the triple RPS that comes from the new changes to Soulforge.
I've never had a Vast do oat tackle on me like that. Wow.
It's ironically, I have fought against bosses who I know that, but still don't do it anyways.
Why have I never had one do it to me then?
I don't know.
Alright, whatever then.
I don't know. Question for Vasaraga players that I will never ask them out of fear of reminding them that indeed is still a thing.
Yeah, let's not remind them that exists. We don't need to find out, right?
Nope. Yeah, Vasaraga Ultimate is actually 10 frames. Aqua lied, so don't go for that.
Don't check the
I'm literally looking at my screen where it says it's 9-frame startup. Like, it's on my screen right now. What do you mean?
Aqua. Shut up, Aqua.
Oh, okay.
But that scoop is fake news. Aqua's a fake reporter too. He does journalism, but his degree has been forged. He probably stole that degree too.
Sounds like a very Vasaraga thing to do. Then again, as Grimnir players, we are known for stealing games. So
No, those are earned games. Thank you very much.
earned
Honest
games.
mid-tier earns all of his wins.
You make me feel bad about myself.
Bad for playing our character? Yeah, you should.
No, I love my character no matter what. I just feel bad about winning in the worst ways possible.
If you get upset by winning in the worst ways possible, you should not play Grimnir.
Nah.
The ways that we can win games by the way our character works is kind of disgusting. Okay, so now out of curiosity, since I've kind of been ignoring the chat this whole time, chat, is there anything on this list that you guys are like, why in the hell did you guys do this? out of curiosity, or anything you need explanations from again. Also appreciate the raid there, Colonel. Because otherwise we're kind of just digging into Yobu at this point.
It's sounding like this is the least controversial matchup chart of all time.
Which is kind of ironic since it's a Grimnir one. Kag should be in the Ha for real.
Hold on. Don't make any conclusions yet. Just wait until they post to YouTube and then on the Twitter, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, that is true. Once I
Post it in the general channel of the Grand Blue Discord.
We
could make some really funny responses, I guarantee.
Well,
I'm sure you can do that and then come back with results. For social experiment purposes.
I'm sure we're going to get at least a couple of comments just from the joke at the top at the top of the list. It says Grimnir's bottom one. You know we're going to get at least a couple of comments just from that alone, and that's literally just
working as intended.
Yeah, exactly. Working as intended.
If they fell for that rage bait, that's completely their fault. I have nothing to say about that. That's not my problem.
To be fair, Grimnir haters have fallen for worse. So remember, these are the people who we teach how to beat our character, and then say we are wrong and downplaying our characters.
Well, it's a true 50-50, Zane. It's unblockable. You get hit 100% of the time. Bullshit invisible mix. Instant win button. I don't know what you're talking about.
Could you explain the Seox placement? Granger's asking. So for
We're just a better character.
Yeah. So for me, it's a mix of we're a better character. If at any point he jumps in the air to throw a projectile, we're not only guaranteed a punish, we're guaranteed a combo. He has no health, so basically as soon as we touch him a single time, he is literally guessing for his character.
This is just a way too dangerous matchup for Seox.
Pretty much.
He also his offense is very vulnerable to Brave Counter as well. His
Yeah.
Rekka can be Brave Countered, his Fireball can be Brave Countered. His EX Dive Kick can be Brave Countered.
And,
Like,
and
if we want to keep him out, we can.
Yeah, and even then, the only option Seax really has to get in on us besides just sprinting forward is the wall cling, which comes with its own entirely separate risk in its own right. Because if it's
He has another ultimate
oh,
gate of demons.
Oh, yeah,
Just press it and get lucky.
It's called empty hand.
I don't care. I'm going with the wall cling. I know. And empty handband. So outside of just letting loose the ultimate Rekka, and then hope it works. Empty hands is pretty much it. And my favorite thing to do is summon a tornado, put it in the way, and then watch as they dive, spot dodge, and watch them get hit by a tornado, and I get a full combo. It's a good time. That's why y'all shouldn't help them. They apparently need our help.
Well, Zane, you really shouldn't help them because your career is on the line.
And yet I have tried to help them, and yet they still don't listen to me, because they assume I'm giving them false information because my career is on the line.
That's a very Zane thing to do, to be fair.
Yeah, we gaslighted the whole community.
Yeah. I managed to get a whole community to think that the high-low mix-up is actually reactable. what losers they
that
were.
That video
listening.
Yobu posted.
Him
just reacting to it for 10 minutes straight, all staged.
You know that Musketeer. You know Musketeer, right?
Yeah.
He told me that he said that he really appreciated that I posted tech on how to react to the 50-50, and then he also told me that there's people like, wow, you just have to react to 20 frame overhead. When that's not the point. You're not reacting to the overhead. You're only checking for if Grimnir goes for a low or not. And the second thing is that we're comparing it to reacting to UL overhead. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
How fast is UL's overhead?
14.
No one's reacting to that. I'm sorry. You cannot compare 20 frames to 14, and kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to call this It's
not even 20 frames. It's just a 24 low, if they ever do that or not. That's it.
Yeah, then one of the reasons.
You know, we should make a rage bait where we just say, if you get hit by the camera mix, it is 100% your fault.
That wouldn't even be rage. That wouldn't even be rage bait. People were literally just going to say we're lying again because it's unreactable because they don't listen to us.
What makes me sad is, in theory, camera mix is useless, right? Like, on paper, it's trash.
Yeah.
And if it was actually trash in practice, we would get to do fun things instead.
Yeah.
Instead, the Grimners are chained to camera mix. They must press it if they want to climb the ranked ladder. It's so sad to me.
Oh, no, it's kind of pointless at this point. We got fuzzies deleted, so I'll do what, so I stopped caring.
Oh no, Yobu, are you a camera mixer now?
Yes, I'm a camera mixer now. How does it feel?
No, it
know
feels
what
horrible.
One of us.
Fuzzy's got removed, so now I'm a camera mixer.
I kind of want to know about it.
Yobu, you could press install instead.
Oh, you may.
The only time, I kept saying this, the only time where camera mix is cool is when you do my camera mix, and then when they block overhead, you do the fuzzy hit confirm. That was like the most satisfying thing I ever did. You saw it happen. You saw me do it in Surgeon on Paragon, Zane, did you not?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that not cool?
Yeah, then they removed fuzzies, and then I cried. Because the coolest part of the install, in my opinion, got removed by the removal fuzzies.
I said the same thing
Coolest.
as well. I didn't think install would be as good anymore because fuzzy got removed, but I still find use for it every now and then. But yeah, that was like the whole purpose of my camera mix. I made that camera mix just for that fuzzy overhead fuzzy hit confirm if they blocked the overhead. And then they took it away from me, and now my camera mix is fucking broken.
Don't worry, you can just blame me.
No, it's whatever. Zenith did it. I saw Zenith do it on Arc War Tour and someone's stream, so it's like whatever.
You keep forgetting that Grimnir has an install. This is what you're doing to the people, Zane.
As
You
well-
gotta press it every once in a while just to remind the world it exists.
Just to remind side games that it exists and that it's just not being used. But then again, that's installs in general in this game. And I don't know why they're so set on allowing for installs that are not named Honore or Vera to want to see play.
The thing, just a tiny change would be enough to make install legitimately viable. Like, get rid of the meter penalty or make it give a BP back or something. Just something small. It doesn't need much.
If they make it where install gives a BP back, I will use it fairly often because that would be so useful.
Oh, that would fix a good amount of problems about install, because usually the problem with install is that you do install, you do CO dash whatever, and you just get BC'd right away, and then you take your turn. So usually you do install when we're about to run out of BC. So if we get a breakpoint back right when we do install, that's gonna fix so many flaws of install.
If we're at one B, yeah. So like for example, if we're at 2 BP and we get a hard knockdown or we just brave counter them away, I'd be more than happy to immediately go into install and then immediately go back up to 2 and then have a dash available to do something with afterwards. I'd be 100% down to do that. But no, installs are not allowed to be useful unless your name is Honore or Vera.
Okay, low key, this is gonna be the most controversial thing you've ever heard. But if U kick wasn't the most broken U skill in the game, I would actually be pressing install like every round. The only thing that stops me from mashing install is the fact that U kick is so overwhelmingly broken.
That is true. U kick is pretty broken.
Man, I'm not gonna argue with that. Outside of how much damage our supers do, our ultimate tornado is legitimately one of the best ultimate projectiles in the game, and U kick is one of the strongest U lariats in the game. And also Grenj wants to know about Anila.
So Anila struggles specifically because her projectile goes across the ground and has 8 trillion frames of recovery. And for Grimnir, that means you can react to it with air dash and win the round.
Yeah, just Tiger Knee dash over it, throw an ultimate tornado to kill her. She does ultimate sheep, which is kind of her best thing. You literally have 20 different ways to just go over it. Outside of the fact that she's got some decent poke tools if she gets you blocking in the corner, and the fact that she's got a meterless DP, that's basically all she's got over Grimnir. Literally Grimnir wins in literally every other thing in the entire matchup. Better neutral, better projectile, better movement, better way to punish things. She's got a 6/6H, she's got a 2U. And she's got a meterless DP. That's about it. Sorry, you kick 2-1 for you. Grimnir's Psycho Crusher, the ultimate spin kick that shoots across the screen. Looks like that might be it.
All right, lads, we've done it. The Grimnir matchup chart.
Yep, as spoken by 3 of the best Grimnirs in NA. Or as by two of the best Grimnirs NA who forced the other one of the best Grimnirs NA to succumb to our wills.
You guys have any closing thoughts about this whole session and the matchup chart?
There's a lot more agreement in it than I expected. Even if we ignore the ones where we bullied you.
Okay.
And even then, I don't know how much we bullied you, and more so just you were not ready to argue.
I guess I was not as prepared to argue as I thought I would be.
So my big takeaway, I was hoping we would have a lot more disagreement than we did. We only got a little bit of drama out of this. Only like 4 characters. That was disappointing.
I agree.
Near back to losing. We're gonna remake this matchup chart in accordance with the appropriate vision of the game, the release version. Nier is now our worst matchup again. Congratulations.
Are we actually going to?
No, we're not actually going.
Yay! I get to put Siegfried in losing. Let's go. Let's go. Winning.
So how strong do we think Grimnir was on the release version? Let's do some revisionist history. I don't think he was a very strong character.
Our air dashes would knock them off the ground.
Exactly. That alone drops him like 2 sections on the tier list.
At least, because people complain about our damage. Our damage sucked back then.
Well, it was still good when you got the fuzzy or whatever. It was even better.
At least back then, fuzzy overhead damage was at least not nerfed yet.
How broken was our far heavy at that time?
More broken.
I don't think the far heavy nerfs have done anything. Straight up, I think that they're basically not nerfs.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically, Release Grimnir basically had the exact same far heavy. It's just the first part was active for 5 frames rather than 2. U-Tornado was also true. U-Tornado was like half its speed.
Yeah, that's true. That's like a cornerstone of our defense now. Not having that suck.
Also, medium tornado did not last very long. So our option of medium tornado in place, then throw light tornado, pretty much didn't exist back then either.
I never do that. What? Wait, new tech?
I do that from time to time still. yeah. You literally. You literally throw medium tornado, you put it in place, and then you throw light tornado, and then basically right after, and then basically around the same time you're recovering, that's when the medium tornado goes away.
I don't remember that at all. I can't believe that was the thing. Wow.
Yeah.
I have just never tried that in my life. The only time I use medium tornado is to like snipe people out of the air.
Legitimately you can do medium tornado, put it in place, and then throw light tornado while medium tornado is still just hanging around. Doesn't have the most uses to it, but it is still funny.
Oh yeah, Release Grimnir also didn't have a medium kick being plus on block.
True.
That's something we have used a lot.
True. That is true as well. Light Lariat though was our only safe option, or was our safe option back then, because there was always enough spacing to where you could not be throw punished. So back then you were literally do LLL into like slightly delayed 214L because you know it's safe. Granted, we were also much worse back then, so our staggers sucked back then because we were worse at the game as players.
Wasn't 241U better at anti-airing?
It was better.
It was better anti-airing because they look.
Oh, I need that back. I need that back so bad.
Same.
I really need that back.
Anti-air window on the ambiguous jump.
They lowered the hitbox and then raised the hurt box. So we hit people.
I
So we
really
don't hit
need
people
that
as high,
back.
and we get hit higher. Oh yeah, man.
It has not stopped me. I still press it to anti-air people. And sometimes I regret
still
it.
press it to anti-air as well, just to try to stop them from jumping in the air in front of my face.
Oh yeah, and our 2-1-4 user was like Beatrix EX riding free, where at best people were getting 4L punishes on our 2-1-4 use.
Yeah, they also reduced the pushback. That's a great change, though.
That was a great change, and something I wish they would do for every
salty.
character.
6-frame punishes just shouldn't exist. Just make it a 7-frame punish.
Make it 7. Make
Give
it
us the frame of
make it 8, or at least if you're gonna make it 6 on these moves, put them right smack dab on top of you, so that way you're guaranteed a close L punish. But the fact that some characters even now still have to you have to rely on getting a far L punish on these is just stupid.
Grimnir is super privileged in that regard because he can usually just do 2M, but most characters, yeah, they're crying.
Yeah. Yeah, so Grimnir was both better and worse back then.
He was definitely worse overall. I remember when the August patch first dropped, I was dooming. I was like, it's so over for this character. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah, when Grimnir hits someone on the ground with an air dash, it no longer sends into the or it's no longer sent into the air. And then we got basically nothing else. Oh, that's all we're getting. We're screwed. Little did we know, for the next like 4 patches, we would be nerfed in every patch ever since.
And then also move up the tier list. I don't know how he does it. Truly the wind god.
To be fair, the next 2 patches we got buffs along with it. Like Fire Rage got nerfed, but we got ultimate tornado buffs.
Wasn't Ultimate Tornado in the August patch? Am I crazy?
That might have been the same patch where 2-1-4U got nerfed, when Far Rage got nerfed, was that when we got the tornado buff? I don't know. 2 of the patches we got a nerf, and then we got a buff in return. And then the last 2, we just got eaten by the universal changes, where they made it where overhead fuzzies do less damage, and then they're like, nah, let's get rid of fuzzies entirely.
I miss fuzzies. Bring back fuzzies.
That's been my name this entire time.
It sure has.
On the bright side, though, people sure take a whole lot of throws now. The downside is that nobody's scared of us anymore after we throw them.
Yep, nobody's scared.
Which I guess.
Miscreant fuzzies were so cool, man.
On the bright side,
if this character didn't have fuzzies, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I would have dropped this game.
I have no idea. Odds are if Grimnir. Actually, I have no idea where I would be if Grimnir didn't have the fuzzy. I probably would still be playing him, but I don't know if I would have qualified for the our tour last year if he didn't have fuzzies for that entire season.
I wouldn't know where I would be because Rising is my first fighting game, so I was still learning at the time, figuring out who I wanted to play, and I ended up picking up Grimnir when around Lucilius dropped. Done's done.
My first fighting game was Central Fiction. What was your first fighting game, Zane?
My first fighting game was Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, tag fighters, man.
Yeah, the DBFZ makes sense now. That's just a crazy one to start with. It's so hard.
Yeah, well, I wasn't exactly good at it.
That's fair.
like my like the like my like my like Dragon Ball was the first game I actually got good at and competed at. Marvel was just the first fighting game I played. But we're talking about a game I actually got good at and competed at. Then that would be Dragon Ball. And even then, it took like 3 years of Dragon Ball Fighters before I started entering online tournaments or became good enough to and to actually even start competing in that. So.
I guess we'll just call it there once Zane posts it on Twitter. Unless you're gonna do it later or at some point.
I literally just posted it right now saying this is what we got.
I'll go cook the popcorn.
go cook the pop. At least the Lancelot players can be like, see, I knew it. Free edition. Oh God! Shoutouts to the free edition, and the free edition players get to play Vasaraga, Cagliostro, and Beelzebub this week. Somebody shoot me. It's like my worst nightmare.
How did they come up with that? Are those tourney results?
The tournament from South America. First was JF on Vasaraga, because of course it was.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, Voss Cagbubs. Curious. I'm still curious if Riazzo is going to go to Brazil again to try and steal the South American spots.
Yeah.
Oh God, he's losing it over something. All right, Spell. What is it?
No, I was just laughing at the fact that you said that Riazzo went to South America and robbed them a spot at the Hardcore Tour.
Wait, did you not know that?
I didn't realize it at the time because that was when I was just learning more about competition of
Riazzo wasn't.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me. I remember when I was watching it live, I was like, wait, what's Riazzo doing here? Isn't he in NA? I was so lost at the time. There was when I was still learning what Hardcore Tour was and who was actually competing there. But now I know everything. It's just hilarious to me now. I got the joke too late.
Okay. So Riazzo wasn't going to qualify through points. So kind of as a last-ditch effort, Riazzo said, "I'm going to go to every platinum event, every auto qualifier for the rest of the year, post ECT." So he went to Brazil. He went to Evo. He went to not Evo. Actually, he went to Psy Games Cup. Yes, he went to Psy Games Cup. He went to Frosty Faustings. And it was just so he decided to go to everything, and then he ended up going to Brazil, and then stole the automatic spot from JF. So the one South American event they had, because I think that was literally the only event in all South America last year, and Riazzo went and stole it.
South America was not very happy, were they?
Probably not, but on the right side for them, at least Riazzo got top 3 at the Arc World Tour, so he at least stole their spot and did well, rather than steal their spots and then shit the bed.
Why did he go to the Psy Games Cup though? Wasn't Psy Games Cup after?
Yep. Why did he do that? We don't know. Same thing with Frosty Faustings. He went to the Frosty Faustings because we don't know.
I feel like Frosty Faustings was just for vibes. I'll be honest. It's the Psy Games Cup that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went 1 and 2 at Psy Games Cup as well, and then his one win was a DQ.
I heard he lost to Avira in Psy Games Cup.
Yep, on stream.
On stream too. That's not good. I didn't see that.
Yeah, we watched that live.
I missed it. I didn't see that happen.
Yeah, it was not great, to say the least. But yeah, we'll see if he ends up doing it again. Let me check the Arc Tour points thing real fast. So right now, Riazo has 30 points. And right now the cutoff is at 100 points, because right now there are 4 people with 100 points.
Riazo, you have an agenda to maintain. Good luck, soldier.
Yep. Well, at least as of right now, Riazo's not going to Boston. So Riazo's next chance is going to be Evo, more than likely, and then we'll see what happens after that. I'll be curious to see what the points cutoff is going to end up being this year, since unlike last year, despite there being a limit to tournaments you can go to, there's more points available this year than there was last year. Because I got 200 points for CEO and 150 points for Combo Breaker. There was not a single tournament last year that offered that many points for any of their events. And yes, Grinch. I managed to win a tournament post removal of fuzzies, but that's now, not last year when I was still learning how to play Grand Blue. And even now, I still somewhat am learning how to play Grand Blue, because I'm kind of abusing the fact that I'm a anime tag fighter player and abusing my air dashes in that way.
You really are the Air Grimnir.
Yeah. I thought we were all in agreement on that already.
No one does it like Zane.
Yep, and many people
know,
try
like,
and then fail immediately.
All 3 of us use CLC completely differently, but I didn't think it would be so different enough for me to say one person is the Air Grimnir, one person is the Ground Grimnir. What am I then? Am I just in the middle?
I haven't seen you play recently, if I'm being real, so I'm not sure what you are.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, first thought that kind of came into my head is you're the one that'll go for the craziest looking thing just for the sake of it.
I don't know. It looks crazy, but like if it works, then like what's stopping me from doing it?
Well, that's kind of what I mean. Most people will just go for the things that they know work, and then just stick with that. You'll be like, this looks cooler, and then you just do it anyways.
That's what I play my character for. That's why I love him.
That was the.
Imagine playing a character that only has like 3 combo routes. Imagine. How do they live with themselves?
Oh my god. This is why it's going to be a scary thing if I end up picking up multiple tag fighters between this year and next year. So it's like I'm gonna have to learn all those characters and still remember the like 30 new combo routes that Grimnir is going to have between now and the end of next year, because somehow there's going to end up being 30 new combo routes because it's Grimnir.
I mean, we'll come up with like 300, but you're not gonna use them.
Accurate.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
just gonna use like 5. What do you mean?
Like every one optimal route that exists, there's like 10 more that are like for novelty and mental damage.
Yeah, pretty much. And because I compete, I typically don't touch those routes.
At least for me, I try to come up routes that I think are optimal.
Yeah,
you didn't end up using any single one of them though, so maybe it's just not it.
Well, I use your mix up one now though.
What about the post mix up one then? The one where I posted 4 camera mix ups. You didn't use any of them. You came up with your own, right?
I did. It's not that I came up with my own. It's that I just kept doing the one that I was already doing because the mix up route you went to just automatically went into that route already. Although nowadays I do the I do the 214H, 2M upward tornado 63H, and then up forward seal dash into 22U. I do that one now though, and I'm pretty sure that was one of your 4 options. So I do that as well, because the thing I like about that one was because of the fact that when you have 2 grounded seals, you're able to use both seals with an auto combo between it. Where if I want to do the setup that I usually do, I have to use both seal dashes back to back immediately. Otherwise, I'm not going to be close enough. Had to pause my dinner to come say Galleon hard counters Grimnir. Hard and all caps with several Ds.
I would love to hear the
This is the biggest
justification.
Galleon up player I've ever seen in my life.
None of us really have that much Galleon matchup experience, so if you have a well-formulated argument, I'm sure we'd love to hear it, but I think you're wrong.
To be fair, also said that Galleon was like top 2 or top 3.
Okay,
That I do not believe whatsoever.
That is the biggest upplay of our generation.
And
That's more upplay than Yobu. I thought Yobu was the biggest upplayer of our generation.
I'm
Yeah,
being
but-
realistic of my character. Like, whatever downside that he may have, it does not matter because our character is broken.
We don't say he's not top tier. We just don't.
Oh,
think we-
no, what do you mean we? Leave me out of this, man. He's
Sorry.
an honest mid.
You're not. You're a very dishonest person, Aqua.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's funny. It's funny how I say Grimnir is top tier, but people treat me like I speak like Aqua.
Yo, look at this matchup spread.
If you
Tell me
think
this is the matchup
Zane
spread
is
of
a
a top
player,
character.
wait until you meet this guy named Aqua. This rank demon. The only thing that Zane is held accountable for is inventing losing matchups.
So last patch, even I couldn't downplay Grimnir. Like last patch, he was just too strong. Now the fuzzies are gone, the agenda is back. We are so back.
And in my defense, nowadays, Yobu, before yes, nowadays I definitely do not make a bad matchups anywhere near as much anymore. For the most part, I'm pretty consistent now on the couple I think are as bad matchups, which are pretty much the ones we have here.
Bonus patch will save us all, one way or another.
Bonus patch will save us all. Yeah, bonus patch will save us all by just by being one patch closer to Meg coming out.
Bonus patch will bring back fuzzies.
yeah, no, that ain't happening. Also, and just for the record, in case you're wondering why Elsa's saying Galleon top 2, her tier list had all the characters she played as the best characters in the game. So Versusia, Kag, Galleon, and Catalina were the 4 best characters.
Well, those are all top tiers besides Galleon.
They are top 4. See if they talk about them.
Questionable.
And then Elsa's top 5 is Eustace. Is that correct? The things Blue Grenade does to people.
Eustace is 5. So those are the top 4. Eustace is 5, and yet every time I see a bug fix patch, Elsa's immediately like, "So is Grimnir dead yet from this patch?" Blue Grenade is better than 30 characters on this roster. Blue Grenade is pretty damn broken. I can't lie.
It's busted.
It is very busted.
It's a good thing we're Grimnir. Otherwise, I don't know what we'd do.
To be fair, reason why I say Percival is like either top 1 or arguable top 1 is literally because of Flame Carpet. Flame Carpet is literally better than like I don't think I'd say Blue Grenade is better than 30 characters on this roster. I think Flame Carpet though is better than 30 characters on this roster. I think that is legitimately the best special in this entire game.
What will we do about Blue Grenade? We just gotta play like everybody else. How does it feel to be privileged? Maybe Grimnir is a top tier Aqua.
Yobu, just because you have good tools for a matchup doesn't immediately mean you're top tier.
This is not where I thought this was going.
What do you think, Zane?
About what?
About the things that both Aqua and I just said.
I literally said he's top tier. I always say he's top tier, but people seem to think people seem to think I'm Aqua and say he's not.
Okay, fine.
I give all Grimnir mains a bad name because whenever I'm lurking in a stream and Grimnir gets mentioned, I bring out my first time chatter message just to downplay him. I give all our community a bad name.
I literally say he's top tier, and then as soon as I say, oh, he's top 5 or like he's top 3 or something like that, I get treated like I'm Aqua. How dare you say such a thing? Grimnir is a top 1 character in his own tier. His seals are so broken, you can't do anything about it. He puts an EX Tornado up, you can't do anything about it. He has no losing matchups, and I'm just like, you guys have no clue what you're talking about.
Alright, fine, I'll stop. I give up.
Yeah, Yobu actually thinks that Grimnir has no losing matchup, so...
I just have suggestions, that's all I have.
I also have suggestions. My suggestions are to bring back fuzzies, buff install, and delete Vicola.
Okay, that's the last one coming up, guard. I agree with one of those things.
I want buff. I want fuzzies back, and I want that 214U anti-air nerf reverted.
I would love for that for the 214U nerf to be reverted, and I want install to give 1 brave point.
Maybe someday Games will decide that they want us to use all of the moves that our character has. Maybe. Like, why make all of these cool installs and then not use them? What really makes me sad is that Nier's install is useless because it looks so cool, but it's just not.
Yeah, it's really ironic that when they first changed Nier, they literally made like the Nier's changes to be like, okay, so the reason why we're doing this is to force people to use her install, and then they made her die in literally a fraction of a second. The second when you go into her install, she goes to chip just immediately.
Grim can have his install when Fairy gets her install.
Isn't
Fairy's install just like perfectly fine?
I think Fairy's install.
No,
I think Fairy's install is the third best install in the game. That being said, though, there is a large gap between the second and the third.
Does Sora's not count, or do you not think Sora's install is good?
I don't think Sora's counts.
I don't think Source counts either.
Does Luane's not count?
I would definitely not consider like I can at least see the argument for Sora's. I do not see an argument for Luane's to be an install. I can at least see an argument that Sora's is an install, but Luane's definitely not.
How about 2B?
Her blowing up and her blowing up and losing like the bottom half of her clothes does not count either.
Disaster.
Of course, the Galleon player asked that question.
Having played almost the entire roster, I can say Vera is the only character that I've intentionally triggered their install. I think the characters that you intentionally trigger their installs, unless you're you guys with the Grimnir one, is Vera, Anre, and Sora's. Because I do think Sora's players do actually trigger their install if you want to consider that an install. Anre players too, but then Vera's entire game plan pretty much revolves around that. So Vera 100%. Sig, you pretty much never see it. Nier, you pretty much never see it. Grim, you sometimes see it.
You only see it from 2 people.
Accurate.
Me and Aqua.
How about 6? Have we ever seen 6's install get used in a match?
Yes,
Ever?
yes, actually, multiple times because there is
Multiple times.
yes, but yes,
I
because
I still remember when rookies did install on Aaron the Max BC on that red, and then won the round off of that. That was insane.
Yes, that is the exact
does his
moment.
install have iframes?
Yes, the install beats Brave counter. So that he literally has a safe. So literally, if he doesn't do anything, he's safe when he goes in the install, and then if it Brave counters, he punishes it. It's actually really cool. It's a really cool tech that I wish more installs did.
If Grimnir had that he'd be like insane.
What's the TLDR of the Bubs Grim matchup? I played it once and it was hot ass. You literally spoke into existence. Outside of what Yobu says, me and Aqua agrees it's hot ass.
Maybe it's slightly losing.
Whose perspective is he calling it hot ass from, though?
Oh, that's actually a good point. That's actually a good point. Yoko, who was it hot ass for? Was it hot ass for Grim or hot ass for Bubs? For Grim. Okay, yes, that is hot. That is hot ass for Grim.
Yep, dive kick is ridiculous. We have no counterplay, and his projectile is good. Karma is good. His buttons are good. If we rush him down, we can win. But if we don't rush him down, we lose.
Sometimes you like, of course, Robert. But is there more to whatever Bubs is doing on the screen? No, pretty much almost everything Bubs does on the screen pretty much counters what we do on the screen. Be it through.
That's not true.
Okay, yeah, no,
if he presses fireball, then he dies eventually.
If he presses fireball while we have 50%. But
Farage is questionable in the matchup. Dive kick kills us.
Yeah. And not gonna lie, despite what you're like, kind of what you were saying before Yobu about how the only one you lose to is Hava. Hava is the only Bubs player smart enough to not charge your arrows while Grimnir has 50%. Literally every Bubs player not named Hava starts throwing arrows even when Grimnir has 50%. Because they're like,
okay. Fine. I give up. You convinced me. It's slightly losing.
You know what? I'll take that. 'Cause that's literally the only character you will admit that you have admitted that he loses at all to. So you know what?
He said Rasusia too.
No,
we got 2 in there.
Oh, no, really? Because I would put Rasusia and slightly losing. So if he said Rasusia was slightly losing,
I said Rasusia is slightly losing or even.
Okay, and I had said slightly losing.
So then I'm Rasusia and Buzz are slightly losing. Those are like the only losing matchups.
Either way.
And maybe Saurus.
Saurus. Sucks how pretty much the only thing that sucks about the worst thing about that matchup pretty much is 5U, but the issue is 5U beats everything.
5U loses to Soup.
5U loses to what?
Super.
No.
If you got the 100, you can just dump it on.
All right, I'll keep that in mind next time I fight against Micro, who's just spamming 5U. And at least as of right now, it looks like Twitter does not care, and the only one that cared was Elsa, who came in to say that Galleon was broken.
Well, I'm okay with moving Galleon down to a tier below Bubs if that's what we want to do. I have no arguments.
A tier below Bubs. Hey, let's go, guys. We're moving up in the world, and Master and Grandmaster Grimnir is now the 23rd most played. So we actually went up a decent chunk, actually.
There has been a decent rise in Grimnir player basis.
Also, Matera.
Why aren't they fighting me? I want to play the mirror. Fight me, cowards.
Matera has fallen down to 25th. She was like 7th 2 months ago.
Their players
Actually,
all
that-
dropped her for Grimnir.
No.
No. Yeah, Grimnir is still only at 0.26% or 2.26%. So we got above 2%.
There's
But
not many good Grimnir players either.
we're still below Vicola. But
Still below Vicola is insane.
Yeah, but we jumped 2B, we jumped Matera, we jumped Anila, we jumped Luane, we jumped Zoe, we jumped Sora's, we jumped Nier, we jumped Zeta. Yeah, those were all the characters we jumped. Also, Honore has found a way to go down another 0.06%. I don't know how Honore.
All they had to do was make him a cute girl. That's all they had to do.
No, sorry, Lunalu is still below him. It's a joke. Grimnir is still the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is still the 7th least played character overall, though. But we jumped Seox and Percival though, and Luane. So apparently this has been a good month for Grimnir.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Luane went from 1.37% to 1.38%. We went from
Why did Grimnir player base go up right after Fuzzies get deleted? That's come on.
I don't know. We've gone up by 0.2 something % in both overall and in Master / Grandmaster, while a bunch of other characters went. Oh wait a second, I know. Oh, no, never mind. I'm stupid. I know exactly why. This will be a very different thing next month, more than likely, because as of right now, in Master Grandmaster, 11.71% of players are on Galleon.
Ah, right.
So I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with anything other than the fact new character came out, so more people just played her. Because the vast majority, the characters that went up are Gran, Ladiva, Vayne, Lucilius, Jita, Vicola, Katz, and Grimnir, and Percival. Those are the only characters that went up in %. Every other character went down. Zoe counters Grimnir. Yeah, as Yobu put it, the only time we're winning is when Zoe's making us block, because we literally can just.
I never said that.
You did actually. But
I just said it's not that bad.
Blocking is not. Yeah, blocking her is not that bad. So you literally just hold down back. My issue was always literally the rest of the time. You keep skipping Lunala. She went up too. Lunala did go up too. She went up 0.19%. She went from 0.32% to 0.51%. Although she went
I
down.
lost to a Lunalu earlier.
She went down in the overall though. She went down 0.09% in the overall.
Down overall, man. All the Lunalu mains dropping her for Galleon. You hate to see it.
Hey, on the bright side though, in the D, C, and B ranks, Lunalu is not the least played character.
Oh no!
Is that Andre?
Say it isn't so.
Andre, best part is Andre went up 0.24% in DC and B rank, and he's still the lowest. Lunalu went down 0.13%. Honore went up 0.24%, and he's still last.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Narmaya is actually the second most played character in Master and Grandmaster. Galleon, Narmaya, Vera, Vasaraga, Gran, Sandalphon, Ladiva, UL, Fairy, Kag is the top 10.
All those
I feel like that is not that surprising. Those all sound like characters I see a lot.
Pretty interesting. Also, nice shelf. Thank you. I dragged the shelf in this morning. So now I've got at least something behind me as I continue to figure out what else is going to go behind me. Also, my new camera didn't come in, so it got delayed to next week. Also, Lon New on Twitter is now very happy because of the fact that that Andre is no longer the lowest played character overall, where last month he was. Lunalu passed him in the overall last month, so he's happy that he's no longer the lowest. And somehow
remains out here in full force.
Yeah, I'm sure Redeemer is over the moon. The fact that they're now better, that they're now more played than Lunalu. So that's it. But yeah, looks like people are okay with our tier list. We'll see. We'll see
Really?
what we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the morning. I literally actually I posted it 30 minutes ago, and right now it just got a few likes and a retweet. But who knows? But as of right now, it's just a few likes and a retweets and nothing more.
Truly the least controversial matchup chart of all.
We
We gotta post it in the Discord. I'm telling you, they're unhinged in there. They hate Grimnir.
Which Discord?
Just the main Grand Blue Discord.
Oh, the main chord. So are you gonna conduct a social experiment? Will you post a tier list in there?
Again, I'm not even sure which Discord you're talking about. I'm in like 10 different Grand Blue Discords.
Like the official main Discord server for Rising.
I don't even think I'm in that, if I'm being honest.
It's a good thing you're not in there.
There's no way you're not in it. I don't believe it. 4 mutual
you were in
servers.
there,
Oh my
you're-
god, you're not in it. Unbelievable.
I'm not in it either.
What? I don't even
Wow,
look at it, so I guess I have no reason to be in it. But I can't believe you guys just aren't in it. That's so funny.
Oh, yeah, so
I
if,
mean, you
if,
said
if,
it
so, if,
yourself. You're not even looking at it. So what reason do we have to be in there?
I'm in a lot of servers I never look at. I don't know.
me
Give you a reason.
neither. So I don't really need to be in another one. But if you want, if you want to take my tweet and post it in that Discord, you are more than welcome to see.
You gotta link me the tweet.
To see
I
if
don't have a
I'll-
Twitter.
For
Oh, yeah.
social experiment purposes.
All right, I forgot you don't. Is it a patch tier list? Someone on my first comment for my tweet. Is it a patch tier list?
It's not a tier list, first of all.
I assumed winning, slightly winning, even slightly losing, and losing would be enough. But I guess I should have put matchup tier list as the title for the tweet. But
You want to know why it's like that? Because you let Aqua put bottom 1 Grimnir.
You didn't put it. Zane is the only one with the keyboard here. Don't blame me.
You the.
I'm glad we all have have our own arguments with have our own issues with each other. All right, tweets in the group Discord chats.
Alright,
Post
good luck,
the
Aqua.
English Grand Blue server.
Alright, good luck, Aqua. I'll give it 12 hours, and then after those 12 hours, you can report back your findings. This is a case study.
Freaking. It's going. I'm going to be tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming Liza P. So if anything on Friday when I'm streaming Grand Blue, you're going to be like, these are the findings, and it's literally just going to be an onslaught of repeated insults thrown our way.
We should hop into VC for that. Like, just look at all those insults and everything. If they do happen.
Grimnir matchup tier list part two, the reckoning.
Yeah, why not? It's
I
fun.
don't think it's
fun.
gonna be that
I've
exciting.
had
You
fun
gotta temper
being in
those
VC with you guys,
expectations.
so it's like, why not? Find more opportunities to join in together.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this eventually go up on YouTube. 'Cause I'm sure I'll get plenty more comments on YouTube since YouTube eats this shit up.
It's not only that, it's just like we three are like the only people where we can talk about our own characters with each other. There's literally nobody else.
Pretty much. Unless we want to drag toilet humor out of retirement, then we're literally the only Grimnirs in NA, pretty much.
I don't even know who toilet humor is. What?
So toilet humor was basically the basically known as the Grimnir, the NA Grimnir back when the game first came out, pretty much, along with like Diaphone, but Diaphone basically played everybody. But he stopped. But as far as I'm aware of, he stopped playing.
I don't know toilet humor either.
Yeah, it was literally just for like the first couple of months of the game. So unless you were paying attention, really early on to the players, then odds are you didn't see it. So when I was fighting him unranked, I was still playing Zeta. Yeah, that tells you how long ago it was.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I wasn't even in my Avatar Belial phase yet.
Oh no.
Fun times. As of a couple weeks ago, it has been 1 year since I picked up Grimnir, or actually 13 months. Because I picked up Grimnir immediately after Combo Breaker when I got my lowest ever finish in a game that I was actually grinding, where I got 49th, I think it was, playing Avatar at Combo Breaker. Yep.
And then you pulled out the Avatar and you won a tournament. That's crazy. That's character development.
To be fair, I pulled out Avatar in two rounds of said tournament. I won one of them and then lost the other.
Hey, a win's a win.
Yeah,
you got him on the board.
I don't think they put a top 8 banner thing on Twitter. But if they did, they would have been forced to put Avatar. I miss playing Avatar though. He's just such a terribly designed character.
Feels like there are a lot of those, but not Grimnir. Grimnir's very well designed.
Okay, Yobu, before you get mad again, in his defense, Grimnir is well designed in the fact that he is a character with a very clear strength and a very clear weakness. His offense is stupid good, and his defense is not. The issue is this game is very well built to play defense, even if you're not great on defense. So Grimnir's offense so heavily outweighs his defensive issues.
Hey, he's not wrong. I said this before in your last sheet where Grimnir's defense is bad, but like defense is just so simple that it's not much of a burden. So I have no reason to get mad at that.
Yeah, it's just that. Yeah, it's just. But I'm still. That's still not going to stop me from saying Grimnir's defense is bad though, because it is. It's just that the game that he's in allows it to be okay.
I'll keep saying that it's bad, but I won't say that it's the reason why we lose. Like it's just not.
It's 100%.
What is the reason why we lose? Or are you saying we just don't lose?
To be fair,
based on who wins every game.
We have literally.
It's always player matchups.
We have legitimately seen that during this time on the tier list that he believes when we lose, it is our fault. It is entirely our fault and only our fault. Because there's no reason we should lose because we play Grimnir.
Maybe I just gaslight myself then that I should be winning all the time. Cause like, I do believe I can win this, but like, I'm just so flawed as a player.
Of course we can win. Of course we can win it. We can win every single matchup. Otherwise, this bottom row would say 10-0 unwinnable. Just because we lose a matchup doesn't mean we can't win it.
Then I'm the biggest culprit to believe, saying that he has no real losing matchups.
Yeah, I don't believe that, because I definitely think in these case scenarios, these characters do well into Grimnir. therefore making it where they are the ones at the advantage. It's just not so much at the advantage where we're like, yep, cannot win. If we see this character, might as well just Alt F4, turn off our computer, and go to bed. It's just not that bad. Maybe more Beelzebub players quit charging up arrows when you have 50%. Maybe you'll feel a little difference. Joking. Obviously, 'cause I have no idea how you do against Bubs. All I know is I think we're all in agreement that fighting against Hava's Bub sucks.
100%.
Does suck. It's fun though. I play Hava so much on ranked at this point. You know, I've started fighting Hava specifically. I've sort of adapted to his playstyle, and that's always fun. You know.
Really? Do you have any notes for us? We can really use them, you know?
He likes backdashing and jumping on wake up a lot.
I bet I
That's
figured
a
like,
big
how
note.
about when you're... I guess my biggest problem with Hava is that it's not like I don't know how to deal with the things he does. It's just he's very quick tempoed, so he moves really fast, and I'm still in the process of I'm still like in my head trying to process what's going on. And by the time I realize that, I'm probably dead.
Yep, because he knows as Grimnirs we can't really stop him.
Must be nice having a DP. All right, whatever. It's been fun, guys.
Kind of my point. As Grimnirs, we cannot stop him from basically just charging us. Usually with a plus on block dive kick.
I'm gonna go head to bed. It was really fun being in VC with you guys. I hope there's more opportunities to join you, to have all three of us in VC again, talk about our characters more.
Yep, sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. Not sure exactly what we'd be able to do unless we want to do a Grimnir special move tier list to say what's Grimnir's best options and what's Grimnir's worst options. I'm not sure exactly what.
That's not good. That's not good content. That one is super easy.
I know it is. I'm literally just saying stuff because there literally is not too many options when it comes to.
If we did that, I could definitely make it very interesting. I would be able to troll you guys so hard. For starters, I'll throw this out. EX Tornado is a bottom tier special. There's my cliffhanger.
Yeah, that itself warrants a potential discussion in the future.
Dane, if Awa keeps doing this, at some point I'm just gonna not take him seriously.
To be fair, I think we already do that when it comes to him talking about Grimnir's placement in the tiers at least.
Yobu, were you taking me seriously? Oh no.
Not really, but like not really, but like I still keep up every now and then, you know.
Yeah, well, we'll just
You're like the only one that's you're like the only one that's actually serious about it though, and that part concerns me.
I'll say this is if Aqua legitimately they made a Twitter or went on to the group Discord thing or whatever and legitimately just put Grimnir's EX Tornado is a bottom tier special, he would get eaten alive.
Okay, wait. I'm going to give. Let me defend myself just a tiny bit here. I wasn't saying it's a bottom tier special.
You have an argument to defend yourself? No way!
I wasn't saying it's a bottom tier special in comparison to the entire cast. I'm saying it's a bottom tier special.
Argument to defend yourself. Have you lost your mind?
Wait, no, hear me out, yo. So the thing is,
is your brain smooth?
If you press EX Tornado, that means you lose the ability to press EX Tornado.
Shut up!
If you put your EX Tornado on cooldown, you can no longer press Tornado. That's the worst thing you could possibly do as a Grimnir player. The optimal play is to never press tornado because then you always have tornado. Thank you for listening.
Aqua, what the hell is this? Oh, I'm dying. That's all on the
I've ever heard it in my life.
on that note, Kiru, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it.
Do you have any more interesting takes, Aqua?
No, I think that was pretty much my only interesting take, actually. Maybe it would be a pretty boring video.
Gotta remember to never spend old fireball, so I always have 50 meter to threaten old fireball.
Yes, you're spitting. You're spitting mitosis.
To be fair, that one I agree on. Don't spend old fireball just to spend old fireball. Like that I will actually agree with, because you want to spend old fireball for a reason, be it using it to try to escape the corner, using it to punish people for throwing a projectile, using it to put someone in chip scenario while making sure you are safe and or potentially plus. You don't want to throw it out. You don't want to throw it out just willy-nilly just because just having 50% legitimately stops people from from throwing a fireball because they know the risk of old fireball exists. So it's like although I don't 100% agree with Aqua's thing about the EX fireball, I will say don't throw ultimate fireball just because having 50% legitimately stops a lot of things in the game, funnily enough. And that's true for a lot of characters with ultimate fireballs. Just the thing of having just the fear of them having 50% and having an old fireball as an option legitimately is a reason to always make sure you have 50%. Well, as entertaining as insanity has been, I'm going to bed. Have a good night there, Reverend. Yeah, more than likely I'm just going to be calling it after this, so I can start the download of this file. Because that's going to be fun. But granted, I've downloaded larger files from Twitch before, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, so I guess I know we already somewhat did closing comments, but one last round of closing comments from people.
I got nothing.
Grimnir is an honest high tier, and you should learn the matchup before complaining about him. If you press raw BC, you're the worst player, and you lose any right to talk about the matchup. There's my closing comment.
If you get hit by Karen Mix, it's 100% your fault. That's my closing.
Get hit by what mix?
Camera Mix.
Oh, camera mix. If you get hit by camera mix, it's 100% your fault. And people will, if I say that, I will literally be murdered by people.
Yobu has said that and gotten murdered by people. He's actually just dead right now. So yeah, you're right.
That is fair enough. That's
No, I'm still here. There's no way I'm dying first before Aqua dies.
The thing is, I have no community presence, Yobu. I don't leave the Grimnir Discord, so there's no chance for people to attack me.
You are 100% dying first before a knife ever gets pointed at my neck. You understand that?
To be fair, Yobu does kind of have a point for the fact of if you go around and you tell people like in any streams Grimnir is mid tier, you will get hung at the stake. But if Yobu goes around and tells random streams that Grimnir is high-low mix, is reactable, and you get hit to it's your fault. He at least has some chance of running to a stream and then being like, wait, what mix is that? That's the difference.
What are your closing thoughts, Zane?
This was a lot. There's a lot more green than I expected. and the arguing for this ended up coming post matchup tier list, which I definitely did not expect, and it's been very fun. It's been very enjoyable, and I appreciate you guys doing this.
Pleasure is ours. I love Grimnir. Bring back fuzzies. All right, gentlemen, you have a wonderful night.
Sounds good. You guys do as well. We'll Aqua keep in touch with us on what's going on with the Discord if they say anything, and we'll see if tomorrow when more people are paying attention to Twitter, be it when the EU players wake up or the East Coast players wake up or whatever, since they seem to be the main people that are on Twitter pretty much. We'll see if we get more comments about our matchup tier list, and odds are the majority of them are probably going to just be them agreeing with Yobu.
We should get Zenith in on this. I want to know what he thinks.
We can post this in the Japanese Discord. We can see what they think.
Oh, is that there already?
What?
Like,
It
is
is
there?
not
Is
there.
there?
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, like, we should get Zenith to like make a Grimnir matchup chart.
I have not seen one from the Japanese players,
Yeah,
but I bet if we ask, they'd do it.
I have no idea. All I know is all I hear from people that when it comes to Japan and when it comes to EU, apparently Grimnirs are everywhere in both of those regions, compared to here where he's non-existent pretty much. But
I'm gonna head out as well. Have a good night, guys.
Sounds good. Have a good night,
Yep.
Yobu.
They're-
I'm definitely expecting that as of right now I'm not getting much on Twitter. I'm definitely expecting when I wake up in the morning I'm going to have like 20 notifications from people calling me nuts. For some reason or another. But at the same time, most people don't really know anything about Grimnir, so that's kind of hard to argue with the experts, right? But that being said, use the stats for June are out. We're looking at it before. Honore has managed to not be the lowest played character and across all of Grand Blue once again. So shout out to him. Grimnir has moved up a shocking amount, moving up to 23rd. And then the biggest shock to me is that Matera is all the way down at 25th, where she was like top 7 or whatever just a couple months ago. So so this is probably the biggest shocker to me was how drastically and how quickly she has fallen. But that being said, though, things will probably change. Things will probably change next month when the Galleon numbers go down a lot. Because as of right now, Galleon being everywhere is kind of the main reason why the vast majority of the characters have tanked dramatically. I'm going top 5, top 11 is insane. Not really. At least not to me. At least not to me. Primarily because of the fact that people will play a character because he got buffed, and then people will play. And then after a bit of playing with them, they'll either keep playing them or they'll stop. You want to see it? Okay. Here's the list. Yobu and Aqua are gone. I'm probably going to be ending in the not so distant future, so I can start downloading this VOD to get ready to post on YouTube at some point. Bea being under Abel is funny though. Hey, Bea got nerfed and Abel is cool. People love flashy combos, even if the flashy combos only happens every other game because he dies too quick. I only played Fairy that month, so I definitely contributed to the low Matera number. That's fair, mitosis. But still, seeing Fairy go or seeing Matera go from like top 7 most played, or like top 3 most played, or whatever the heck she was, to like 20 something now is a hell of a drop over the course of just 2 months. Especially when it comes to a 2 months that doesn't include her being nerfed. Beelzebub. Yeah, he's still the worst matchup in mine and Aqua's, and to some extent Yobu's opinion. Cause he stops basically almost everything we do, and we don't have a DP to stop that stupid dive kick. Yobu is an optimist. Oh, we've learned. Yobu believes Grimnir has no bad matchup, so shut up, Aqua. No one's a bigger optimist than Elsa though, who says Galleon is top 2. Says Galleon is top 2 and hard beats Grimnir. So nothing will ever beat that, I don't think. Galleon the gold. I'm sorry, she's just not great. much like with Vicola, I like all of her animations. They made the characters' moves really cool. It's just they didn't make her all that great. She's better than Vicola. I will say that. She's better than Vicola. But she's just really not great unless you can never react to the grab, in which case she becomes scary. If you can react to the grab even sometimes, then she's not all that great. If you can react to the grab never, then she's okay. Just too much counterplay? Yep. Yep, and shout out to the fact that if you just jump in the air and she goes for the air grab to punish you for going into the air, you take basically no damage in the process. Finally, there's the reason to look for something. Yeah, the only thing you need to look for pretty much is her staff slam onto the ground. That is legitimately the only thing you need. The only thing besides the command grab, pretty much, that you at all need to look at. Besides just, okay, here's a special. She's plus. Okay, now you just wait for her either to run out of those things, or you just wait for the grab, jump it, and then she eats a full combo for it. Because the command grab is hella punishable. I get why they couldn't make it unreactable because giving a character a full combo and the amount of damage she can get from it, if she has the circle set up, is pretty scary. If you literally couldn't react to it and you had to guess at all times, but at the same time, making it reactable basically just makes you where you're not scared at all. It's kind of like blocking against Zoe, where hey, time to hold back and block forever. Except the fact with with Galleon, BC will always be an option pretty much, unless she sits max distance on some of her specials. And also you run out of moves pretty quickly to stay plus, compared to Zoe, who just never runs out pretty much for at least like 20 seconds, and then she can't do anything. But that's something else entirely. So she's a character that I've got. Honestly, I have no idea how they're. I honestly have no idea how they're going to buff this character. But at the same time, I'm okay with grapplers being bad. That opinion will more than likely will never change. I'm more than okay with grapplers being bad. That being said, though, like I said, I probably am just going to call it here with the completion of this list, so that way I can, like I said, start downloading the file for an eventual post to YouTube. So I'm going to be putting up the before I put up the funny end screen. Any last things about the tier list, or just anything you want to talk about real quick before I put the before I call it here? If not, there's always complaining on Twitter, because that's what Twitter's for. That works for. I'm just going to say thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Quick shout outs once again to Kittenaqua and Yobu for helping me out with this matchup tier list. Something that has been requested multiple times over months now. Closer to Aqua than Yobu on Grim. Man, that's fair. If you're closer to Aqua than Yobu on Grim, then you're close-ish to me on Grim. Then me and Aqua don't agree on a lot of things, but I don't agree on everything. But we seem to agree on most things. Yobu was definitely the odd man out for that, which I did feel a little bad for. But if you're going to come to a discussion for a matchup tier list, you have to be ready to argue your side, and Yobu just wasn't ready to argue his side. But if anything, we taught him a lesson. And next time something like this happens, he'll be ready. He'll be ready. But until then, like I said, I'll say thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. We got more Lies of P DLC to play, because I'm only, I think two or three bosses away from being done. So we got to get going with that. And for those guys who only care about the fighting games, which I know is most of you, we'll be back on Friday with more Grand Blue as per usual. So until then, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and night, wherever time with you guys, because time zones, as always, are a very weird thing. Until next time, I will